it to you, but always in the nick of time. What happened? Okay. Okay. What's up, everybody, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of our Sisters Keeper with your girl, Allie Nick, giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time, and our good sis, Erica Vane, who is trying to get the sound. Can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Put a finger in the, put a one in the chat if you can hear me.
Am I coming through now? I think I'm
You're coming
getting
through. I can hear you.
it. Okay. All right. I fear the beginning of our Sister's Keeper and our turbulence was even more interesting than this episode. But alas.
Mm,
Hey, y'all. Welcome, 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 welcome in. Thank you so much for that intro, Allie. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here. We are on
yeah.
episode 18.
Thank you,
18.
Jesus.
We are almost there.
4 more to go.
The
I'm
crazy
counting
thing
down.
is, I've been thinking, Allie, like, we are almost out of this season, but we don't have another season coming right behind it. Like, we're not gonna get another season at least until like November, because they just filmed season 9, right?
I believe so. Think they just finished.
So
Yeah.
we gonna have a really long break, which is really new in reference to the last 5 seasons, because probably since like season 3, Tyler started beating us over the head and giving us
hmm
2 week breaks. Um,
Yes.
which is going to be interesting. So I'm like, we are excited now for it to go ahead and give us a little respite. But I don't know, because we might be going a whole 8 months before we see the girls back on our damn TV screens.
Excited for it. Honestly, because I still think there's so much to be talked about concerning sisters. So I think like the content will be great. But I know for me personally, I need a break from these women.
Mm.
I really do. Like it's one of those things where it's like I know I can expect, Broadway at the circus, and I'm still holding on to that. But then you get episodes like tonight that's just like a real struggle. And for me, when it's like 4 or 5 episodes left in the season, I always get a little antsy because I think those episodes are absolutely horrible and they're kind
Yeah.
of all over the place for me. And tonight was no different in my opinion from my perspective of the episode. But I'm excited. But the only thing with Tyler too, they can just stop filming and then he just pulls randomly a date when this gonna come back.
Mm.
So it's like we never really know. Sometimes we think we're gonna get, yeah, girl, we got a little breather. Okay, next month, season
But see,
nine.
when
Wait a
that happened
minute.
before, though, we were seeing him shoot like 6 months in advance. So he had time to go into editing. I fear
That's true.
if they come back in the next 3 months and they just finished, so you only in the editing bay for 3 months, we're gonna see way worse transgressions than what we've been seeing this season as it pertains to the editing. Because quiet as kept, this stuff has gone to editing. Like this season was shot last May, right? It came
Right.
back in November, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that gave plenty of time.
Yeah.
If he tried to turn around season 9 by the summer, that might be where I tap out, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to
It's
make it
a
enough. I
struggle.
ain't gonna be able to do it.
It's a struggle.
But
That it
anywho,
is.
let's get into what we came in here to get into. Okay, did y'all drop y'all's ratings in this chat to let us know what you felt about the episode? What do you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? Shout out to, I think Tracy B was the first one in here way earlier. So hey boo, hey Trina, hey Simply Johnny, hey Demetria, hey Kelly Hester Jones. Shout out to all my members in the chat, Mrs. J Foster, Shell Jones. I know Money Green Tay gonna be coming through. I know Shari P gonna be coming through at some point. Hey Cheryl D, hey Mel Cunningham, how are you, honey? Hey Tam B. Shout out to all of y'all in the chat. DNC Greatness, Robin K, Tracy B, Jess Danielle, A Noel. Come on with the rhymes. Jalen, how are you, honey? Freckle Purple, how are you, boo? Hey, MJ 3009. Thank you for joining the second live of the day. I went live and talked about Harlem earlier, and you were in there. I appreciate it so very much.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I missed it.
If y'all watch Sistas, then you damn sure should be watching Harlem. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Hey Brandon, how are you, boo? Okay, let me get to these dang on ratings. Mimi Loves Peace. Hey honey, gave it a 5. Tracy B gave it a 5 as well. Demetria said this episode is a 4. Kelly Hester Jones said 5.2. That's about it. Trina gave this episode, or is it Trina? Yeah, it's Trina. Gave this episode a 3. Shao Jones said a 5.1, child. 5.1. We're going to give you that 0.1. The Chosen One gave it a 4. Mel Cunningham gave it a 4.5. Tam B said 10. 10s across the board, but 10 specifically because Aaron was putting in that work. Y'all nasty.
I'm with you, Tam. I'm with you, Tam.
They nasty, Ellie, but I love it. Okay.
I love it.
Where else? Oh, Cheryl D gave it a 5. Brandon Ashford gave it a 5. A Noel gave it a 4. Okay. Thank you so much, Trina. I appreciate it, honey. Ahmad said a 7.4.
Precisely. 0.4.
Hey, Shari. Diva Savage gave it a 4. Harlem is really good. Shell Jones.
Yes.
I talked about this on my live. I'm not gonna make this about Harlem, and I don't actually like the conversation around comparison. However, it just creates the context for the conversation I want to have. Sometimes, when I think about Harlem only having 24 episodes for their entire series run, 3 seasons made up 24 episodes, and we get 22 episodes of Sistas every single season, only to be met with less character development, character growth, any type of journey, progress, evolution with a group of girls. They did more in 24 episodes over 3 seasons than they have ever done in 8 seasons of Sistas, and it's still in the air.
Okay.
It's a little frustrating. Hey Vaughn, welcome in, boo. Thank you so much. And you rated a 5. Shari said a 4. The way that it feels like nothing happened in this episode, it very much so feels like nothing happened in this episide. Nothing at all. But let's go ahead and get into it. Allie, what's your rating? How are you feeling about the episode?
2.5.
2.5?
2.5, because I see my brothers and my sisters in here giving points. They giving a whole number, then they're giving a point and another number. So I'm gonna follow suit, and I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because this episode, like, literally pissed me off. I knew, now I'm gonna have fun with it, but I knew it was gonna be on some bull-ish from the sneak peeks that they released. So I knew I was gonna be pissed off at the whole Andy and Jordan and Penelope and Robin debacle. I knew I was gonna be pissed off at the whole Zach and Fatima foolishness. So I already went into it like, okay, it's gonna be some mess, but the saving grace for me is going to be excuse me, Karen and Aaron. And even with them, I felt tried a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. I felt tried a little bit. Yes, I felt tried. They tried it. Now don't get me wrong, we'll get that when we get to that. But I felt tried. I felt like they deserved more. And sadly, still, and I know you talked about this last week, we didn't get much of them.
Yeah.
In this episode, we didn't get much of them at all. Like I really felt like it was a slap in the face for what I feel like that couple deserved, and not that because they're my favorite. I'm saying that because of what the totality of their situation. I just felt they deserved more than what the writers gave them. Maybe we'll see more next week. I'm not holding my breath, but yeah, they tried it. They tried it. I just wasn't happy with this episode. Like legit, I felt like they were still trying to push certain narratives that just didn't make sense to me, and they were doing too much to make a certain point. With Danny, Zach, and Fatima, it was too much for me. Like it was overkill. Hey Tima, what's up? Oh, what's good, my good sis? What you doing, girl? How you doing? What? We'll get to that, but I just felt really tried with this entire episode. How did you feel, my good sis? Can't hear you, Erica. Erica, I think you on mute.
Oh God. I gotta remember I got this damn button here. I'm sorry, y'all. Uh I'm hovering between the three and the four, y'all. I'm hovering between the three and the four because it's just the same. It's not the worst episode that we've ever seen, right? But it's still
Right.
so much of the damn same. And it's a mind for me because I don't think I'm expecting more, but it kind of feels like I'm kind of expecting more. But it's like Erica, it has always been mediocre. Will continue to be mediocre. Like what are you exactly hoping for? But for whatever reason, even when I'm trying to temper my own expectations and potential responses, I still feel myself kind of, I guess, looking forward to something. And then when we get what we get, it's just like, ugh, okay. And it didn't help me that I did my Harlem like series retrospect live before watching this episode. So I was thrust into like
Ooh.
critically breaking down all of that and the brilliance that came with all of that character development and story and this and that, and then to watch this episode. And I honestly like that was my like lunch break, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I like made ramen and a salad. It's like, let me eat before this oxygen keep alive so that I can make sure I'm ready to talk to my people. But it wasn't really giving much of anything. And at this point, to long story short, I guess I think I'm coming to a place of like making peace with like, well, will it ever and should you ever look for it to give more than that?
Yeah. I think for me, I agree with what you said because sometimes I feel I don't have any expectations of sisters, and if I do, they are extremely low. But it's like at the same time, with the writers, just tell the story. Your story is not going to be perfect. I'm not expecting that. I'm not even expecting it to be a C. But damn it, don't give us an F.
Right.
Can you teeter in between a C minus and a D plus? Like, just give us that. It's almost as if I don't under. I'm not even trying to understand the reason we're still trying to prop up Fatima in a sense when it comes to the sisters, and then at the same time try because I felt like Fatima was tried by Zach in this episode, but I'm gonna be messy in this live as well. But I don't expect much. But it's like, can y'all just give us a D effort? Because we
Mm.
know we're not gonna get an A. We know we're not gonna get a B. Can you just give us a D effort? Because the stuff
Yeah.
that I was seeing in tonight's episode, and don't get me wrong, because I don't want to feel like I'm, itting on these writers. But come on, man, y'all getting paid for this? You have people who are really struggling to try to get their foot in the door, who can write brilliantly, and y'all are on someone's payroll. Y'all are working at TPS Studio, well, Tyler Perry Studios, and this is what you guys are giving. No, this was. I think I was more disappointed with this episode because of just how lackluster I feel the
Yeah,
writing was. I'll say it that way because these writers are better than this.
I
They
agree.
legit are better than this.
And they also have the setup and the material to do more. So like it almost feels like a stretch for you to go this mediocre. It feels like you have to try because the characters that we have on the page have so much to deal with. Like you mean to tell me we can get Sabrina to confront her racist colleague with all the gumption in the world, but then as soon as her man stepped into the room who has been playing her sideways, yes, we can have dinner. Oh my god. What?
Mm-hmm.
But she deserves respect and understands her self-worth. Where's the transferable skills? And all of that is right there for the taking. And y'all are choosing not to take it. I don't actually understand. I even have notes in reference to the whole Karenness of it all. Because I love seeing them on screen. But for them to give us so little and then to have no
Mm-hmm.
substance in what they gave us, I know y'all love the man putting in a little bit of work, but when we're only getting 4 minutes an episode, I need some leaps and bounds to be made. Like I need the dialogue to be specific. I need like more. But we're gonna get into
Yes.
it. We're gonna break this down and we're gonna go into a little bit of character deep dives. Let's start off with Andy. Then I want to transition into Danny. Um,
Okay.
and we're gonna kind of like go from there. Starting off with Andy. Allie, okay, so how I want to frame this is this whole Robin versus Gary comparison, and is it valid or is there no validity to it? And then we're going to go into Jordan's entitlement because Lord have mercy. But first and
Whew.
foremost, Gary versus Robin in the comparison that Andy just can't seem to let go of. Is there any validity to it?
Any validity to Andy not being able to let go of Gary and Robin?
Her comparing them. The whole I am
No,
attracted to men that
no.
love to control me. That to me feels
I
like she's putting them
girl.
both in the same bucket. I could be reading it wrong, but it feels very
Mm-mm.
much so like Aaron and I'm not Aaron. Robin and Gary are here and Jordan is here. And that is what that whole conversation was confirming. And I am just left so perplexed at that
Yes.
idea.
Yes, you are not alone, sis. And no, you are not reading it wrong. That's how I read it as well. And it was very reminiscent to when she told Robin a couple episodes ago that he was just like Gary. And in her mind, the fact that she's even willing to or making the choice, the intentional choice to compare these two men is wild to me.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild. There is no validity, there is no comparison. And in my mind, I'm thinking, Andy, I think you now I know you was gone, sis, but you're even further than I thought if you believe that these two men are the same in any capacity.
At all.
I'm
And
not
I
sure what's
get
going
that
on
your
with you, sis.
perception is your reality. However, at
Mm-hmm.
some point, I'm gonna need you to ground your reality in some type of real reality because I hate that she's running with the narrative that Robin did a power grab from me at the law firm while I was a suspect in this murder case. He owns part of the law firm. He cannot grasp for power that he granted to you. It was always his. You were just borrowing it. I don't understand
Yeah.
that. Like, and she really believes that in her soul. Well, he's making a power grab for power down at the law firm, and I'm just attracted to men who love to control me. Ma'am, the only way that he is controlling you is in the place of work where you are actually his employee. There is an inherent level of control that comes to that because he writes your checks, ma'am. He writes your checks.
Literally. Literally. And she wants to talk about Penelope. The more I watch this episode, the more I say, Andy, you are just like Penelope.
Just like
You
her.
are in no position to call this woman out. She feels and she wholeheartedly believes, and as you said, the perception, her perception is her reality. She fully believes that Andy and Gary are in cahoots. They tried to ruin her life. She's not letting go of that narrative. Andy really believes that Robin is doing everything in his power to keep her from being successful and becoming managing partner and trying to control her when we know that's not the case. But she is fully convinced. That's why I said, baby girl, this episode showed me, Andy, like I said, sis, I know you was gone, but you are gone.
Far, far
Truly
beyond.
gone.
Far beyond.
Yes.
And that doesn't to me, that also doesn't negate Jordan's accountability that needs to be had as well. Like the whole setup of Andy walking in, seeing Penelope and Robin there, Penelope doing entirely too much. Penelope, I think that you want to be Andy. I fear that you grew up light skinned and pretty and slim, but you might have been a little awkward. You might have been a little frumpy, and you weren't the girl that the guys wanted. And you see Andrea Barnes, and you are taken back to childhood, to the little light skinned girl beside you that actually had it on point. Her lip gloss was popping. She was down at Victoria's Secret all the time getting them little jelly ass lip glosses. She had every little cute shoe that came out. And she was always giving that girl, and Andrea triggers you. She triggers this childhood ass wound in you. So you can't see the beautiful woman that you have or that you have become before us. You can't actually see all that you've been able to accomplish. Hell, you can't even see all that you've been able to recover from, and just tragically losing a baby and going through this attempted murder situation. You can't see none of that because you're so hyper fixated on a woman who does not actually care anything about you. It's wild work to start and damn crazy to finish. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say, that is Penelope's story, and I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands of it, because everything about this run-in gives you quite literally just want to be Andy, and you're mad that you're not, and that's fine, because it's always going to be the women in this world. Okay, great. Go away. Robin does not actually want your ass, and you're not going to get back at the bully that, or the girl who you wanted to be in high school or middle school by taking Andrea's men. But for them to then proceed to go on to further the narrative around blaming Andrea Barnes, or like some way scapegoating her for her pretty, scapegoating her for her desirability, scapegoating her for people's yearning of her, as if it's her goddamn responsibility that people, or to stop people from wanting her, with Jordan talking about you can't go 2 seconds without a man wanting you. What the hell is that type of shit to say? Am I tripping?
When I tell you, I wanted Andy to I want her to grab one of them glasses on that table and knock the living hell out of Jordan. Because this man had all the audacity. I don't know where these balls came from that he never had before.
Ever.
But it's the fact that what are you trying to blame this woman for garnering attention that she's not even trying to get? It is what it is. She can't help it. These men are attracted to her, whatever the case may be. Jordan was so, what's the word I want to use? He was so damn annoying this episode.
Mm-hmm.
He was so annoying. He was so disrespectful. All the things, all the negative connotations surrounding his personality came out in this episode.
And for what? What was
Blaming,
the ultimate goal?
And that's my thing.
Crazy.
It was very crazy, because you stated, I brought you here to talk about our relationship. Baby, what relationship? Y'all ain't been in a relationship. You're not in a relationship. And then, but I mean, there is no point when you just played in my face. What did she do?
Child.
How did she play in your face? She's shocked to see Robin and your sister just like you were. How did she play in your face? She can't help this man want her or is in love with her. But we'll get to that in a little minute. She can't control that. Then you proceed to tell this woman that she is as addictive to man's attention as your friend Danni is the vaping. Bastard, wait a minute. Bastard, wait a minute. Because
I said, there it is. There it is. I knew that Rich's ass wasn't the only hating ass Negro. I knew
Mm-mm.
it. I said, there it
Mm-mm.
go.
Mm-mm.
There it go right there.
Yes. When he said that, I instantly thought about Rich because we know Rich has been downing Andy from Mary Had a Little Lamb from the very beginning. When I when Jordan made that statement, the instantly I thought about, okay, this is Andy's friend. So you're now you're intentionally trying to be disrespectful and to hurt her and to hit below the belt. And not only that, this is your brother's girlfriend. So y'all don't care how y'all talk about these women. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, you have all the audacity in the world, but you're not viewing yourself. And then, and I talked about this in one of the reviews I did, I think a couple of days ago. I give Andy a lot of hell. I'm not gonna front because she deserves it. I don't give her nothing that she don't deserve. But with this situation, I do believe that Andy did her due diligence to truly protect Jordan, and because Penelope is his sister, indirectly she was protected as well. This asswipe doesn't even know that Gary hired your assistant to take pictures of you, video of you, and to drug you to make it appear that you were in a compromised position with both men and women. Andy tried to protect you so this news didn't get out. Andy tried to protect you so that Gary wouldn't hurt, harm Jordan, or possibly take him out as well. And the fact that she put herself in harm's way, and we're not used to Andy really going to bat for anybody other than herself.
Right.
And the fact that she was willing to do that, that's when I honestly felt that Andy did love him. I know she said she cared for him, now the writers want to change everything. But for Andy to do that, that spoke volumes because Andy's selfish as hell. Andy don't put nobody before her. And for her to do that with Jordan, that I remember when that happened, I was like, wow, maybe she really do love this bastard. Like, because Andy just doesn't do those things. And as you said, the entitlement that Jordan had with Andy was just I just couldn't even imagine. And then what really pissed me off is after she, I guess, put herself out there to say she was in love with Robin, when we come back to the next scene, why the hell are you sitting down with this idiot? Why are you sitting down with this man? Andy needs help. Andy needs to be the next person. I don't
She
want her to
needs
go to Creature
something.
because Creature, baby, you need your own therapist because something is you're not right, honey.
Something's going on.
You're not
Welcome in,
right.
Lynn. Welcome in, Lynn Williams. You're not late, honey. Well, better late than never. How about that?
Yeah.
Allie, it's just also the soapiness of it all. So then I gotta like, okay, this is also a soap opera. So like
Mhm.
we make the
Mhm.
proclamation, go to commercial, come back, and we're sat at the table, ready to unpack it all. For me, I think I've said this, but I would have to go back and double check. I don't believe that Andy was in love with Jordan. I think that Jordan was
No.
easy. I think that he was a fresh breath of fresh air. I don't even know if I believe that she loved him. I think that she enjoyed him. She enjoyed the piece that it was. And I think that Andrea Barnes was in a space of trying to prove something to herself because while she hasn't been as vocal as she should be about her missteps and her accountability tied to the missteps, she knows deep down that a lot of the things that she's experienced, even with being a victim of Gary and his shenanigans, she has also brought on herself. And personally, I feel like Andrea Barnes operated much like a man in this predicament, where she went out and found another man because she has to be in a relationship, but she did it to find a man that was going to check boxes. Now she was able to perform beautifully in the relationship. You got the little kissy finger thing, and y'all having sex all the damn time, and it's seemingly like it's going perfect, but none of that felt like you were actually developing any type of real closeness, any type of real understanding of one another, any type of like real relationship. You like him sticking parts of him into parts of you, and it worked for you. It was easy for you. And then the moment that it wasn't actually easy and the scandal started to pop up, you was ready to drop his ass like a bad habit. It took damn near the jaws of life and almost your life to pull Gary, to pry your ass off of Gary. But the moment that the scent of a scandal came your way by way of Jordan, you was ready to drop him. The jaws of life couldn't even pry you and Gary apart. Girl, this is not that. I do believe for whatever reason she has definitely loved Gary, and that is our like barometer for love and how Andy actually expresses it or how it materializes for her within romantic relationships. So I don't actually disagree with her saying to Jordan like she really liked him, because I think that that's the truth. What I struggle
Mm-hmm.
with is the whole conversation becoming then one sided of like, oh, she was never really in it. She didn't never actually do anything for me. She actually been playing me this whole entire time, when in all intents and purposes, she was punishing herself within this relationship, and doing so by choosing to try to do the best and right by you at all costs. She made every decision she possibly could to do right by you and to take every single blow that she could. One, as a way to prove to herself something, but another way, to try to be this thing that maybe she don't even believe that she can actually be, and have this type of relationship that she probably don't even think that she can actually have. So Jordan sitting up on his pedestal trying to play in her face in this moment, like the whole thing in the misalignment of them in the relationship is all on her, is wild. The whole "you weren't man enough" or "I wasn't man enough for you" felt like a writer's choice. It felt like an outside party's observation, or maybe knowing that the audience have observed that and said that, and then you had that character say that, because he has never operated in a way that would make us believe that he even thought that in any given point in time. You would need to see that for this character for me to believe him saying this to her and him actually believing it. He has never been in this relationship at any point and felt like he was not man enough for Andrea Barnes, even when going toe to toe with Gary. We got Gary popping up in the backseat of his car, and he like, okay, and Gary ready to pull up and pull a gun out on you, and he's standing 10 toes down. Like, he never backed down from anything or anyone. So now all of a sudden the narrative is that you were never man enough for her. Where the hell did that come from? Twitter. That's where it came from. The YouTube
I felt
comments.
very offended. That's true. I felt offended for him. Like, for not even for Jordan, I felt offended for the actor. Because I felt like it was a slight to his sexuality, because we know that he's a part of the LGBTQ community. And when he said that, for whatever reason, it just struck a chord with me. And I was like, why would they have that man say that? Because as you stated, I'm thinking all of those things. This man has never backed down from anybody. As you stated, Gary had a gun when he was in his car. He was telling him what gonna be, what it ain't gonna be. Excuse me. Jordan has never come off as scary. Jordan has never come off as, I need my woman to fight my battles for me.
Ever.
So why all of a
Ever.
sudden would he say, I was never man enough for you? Are you kidding me? That's how I feel. I personally feel like that was, I didn't like that line for many reasons.
And
But yeah, we get
it
to
just
this.
exemplify, Allie, what we were talking about at the start of this live, of like how you actually have plenty of material, but you're opting not to go there. Because on the surface, people were like, because we know his sexuality outside of the show, and people have made digs about
Mhm.
how the old Jordan definitely gave more chemistry than this new Jordan, and you can see certain things. But the character on the page, how it was written, that's not what it was given. So you can't actually use that. But the thing that is right there sitting for us is how y'all go to sex immediately. All y'all ever had was sex. Why don't we bring that up? Y'all humped each other constantly. And yeah, you ate together every now and again, but even when y'all was eating together, y'all was talking about having sex with one another. So like, the thing about it is, oh wait, our relationship was never really a relationship because we just like sticking parts of each other in each other. Why can't we have that conversation? But we're going to hop, skip, and jump out the damn show into Twitter and say, oh yeah, I wasn't never man enough for you. Gary ain't even a damn man. He's a damn devil. What are you talking about?
Okay.
And Robin, quiet as kept. Like, again, we know he, well, for what we can assume, because I don't actually know this man's sexuality. Don't need to know this damn man's sexuality. But Robin don't give hard. Robin ain't one of the most machismo ass men on this show. If anything, it's like a scale from like Zach to Jordan, and Robin falls somewhere ass in the middle. So like, even when you're putting yourself up against Robin, you're not that far off. Y'all basically give the similar prototype, but he's taller than you, and he's still on business.
And that's it. That's it.
So
He's a little bit
please, like,
taller. That's it. A little
the
bit
I'm
taller.
not
He
man
can give
enough
a
for
little
you
bit
is
more sex
wild.
appeal.
What'd you
It
say?
is wild. He taller. He gives a little bit more,
For sure. For sure.
sex. I think he's either engaged or married.
Mm.
The I can't think of his real name right now, but the actor who
Austin.
plays Robin, Austin, yeah. One of the two, because I remember I saw a picture of him and the woman that he's with. Um, but yeah, that whole thing was like we just gonna blame Andy for everything, and it's the fact that Jordan didn't take any type of responsibility
Not a
nor accountability for
stitch.
anything that he did in this
Not a
relationship.
stitch of
I was just like,
accountability.
Andy, get up and go. Get up and go. I'm like, this. Who, Erica? When I told you, and this man was like, goodbye, Andy. I said, let this be the last time he ever come on our screen, and take your other two stooges with you.
Please.
I don't want to see you again because what he did to Andy in this scene with this elongated ass scene, we have no more words to ever speak to one another.
And
The
Andy
fact
ain't
that this
all the
helped
way
us sit up
right,
here
but she damn
apologizing.
sure ain't all the way goddamn wrong.
No, she's not. No, she's
Please.
not. Like, y'all not gonna do this to her. The one time that y'all really could have gave it, no, y'all not gonna do her like that. No.
And when
Mm-mm.
you think about it on like a broader scale, Allie, it's like, what are you saying about this Andrea character? So she done spent a whole season and a half trying to make the most altruistic decisions possible for these other two people who really cast her aside the moment things got tough. And then she's rewarded with continuously being belittled and reduced back to all of her worst mistakes as if she never made a good decision ever. And y'all co-sign that. And have her co-sign it. Because she accepts the whole thing. She don't reject not a bit of
Uh-huh.
it. I said, oh,
Nope.
Andy's simple for real, for real. Because there's no way. I'm going to stand and take what I need to take. I'm going to eat what I need to eat. But I'm not eating off
Mm-hmm.
nobody else's plate because that is yours. And
Facts.
it's interesting too to watch them in this moment, have them go from Jordan, who also presented really kind of secure for the most part, to this hyper jealous place of like, yeah, he wants you and you want him, don't you? You just
Mm-hmm.
can't resist the desire of men. Man, is this thing is this thing on? I said a similar thing when I was talking about Harlem on my live earlier. Go get the hoe that aligns with you and where you're going. Stop getting in cars with people and y'all are not planning to go to the same direction. If you are attracted to bad bitches, then you also need to find some confidence and some security because you cannot be with a baddie talking about, oh my God, you just love the attention of men. Whether she loves it or not, she gonna get it because she a bad bitch. Look at her. Look at her. Now, granted, Andy has the whole thing about, oh, I don't want to just be what I look like. And girl, great, but you still look amazing. You look attractive. You look desirable. You look like you should be with a rich, period. So to have any man standing by your side concerned about the attention that you draw, the eyes that you pull in, is a red damn flag. And for them to pop this up in this moment where they're leading into a breakup, a full breakup, and like separation completely for them, it's a complete like shift for the Jordan character. But I guess not really. They kind of been, I guess, warming us up with it, with having him running behind Penelope and on her damn coattails as it pertains to all
Mm-hmm.
her disrespect for Andy, and him like, oh, I'm sorry. This was just, I guess, the final boss of like, yeah, I really could never stand it. But the T for that again is don't get with a bad period. If you cannot handle it, do not get with it. Go get a frumpy girl. There's all types of girls out here. There's every type of black girl that you could ever imagine. Go find the one that's going to actually align with what the hell you can handle. You gonna go get the baddest bitch that you can find, the best that you ever had, and your ego is out of this damn world. For what? Creating problems for your damn self.
These writers just piss me off because as you were speaking, I'm thinking about when we were first introduced to these men. They definitely presented themselves to have such confidence in who they were as men. So much so that they were able to get three beautiful black women on a city bus late at night, went over there and bought them $1 rolls.
Oh
Baby,
my
you got to be
god.
on some straight big dick energy for that. Okay? Because I can tell you one thing, Allie Nick ain't gonna do. is get on those city bus at 11:30 at night. I can tell you that. I ain't doing that. But there's a but. I mean, but then you can meet somebody who possess a certain confidence that you want to be in their presence. You don't mind doing those little things, and that's how they presented themselves to us. And what we know about sisters, the writers will change a character just like that. How we go from Jordan being this confident woman, I mean, this confident man, excuse me, being able to kiss Andy in front of Gary, even after finding out all the craziness, he was never scared.
You broke bread with Gary the first episode of season 7.
Okay.
Gary impregnated your sister, had a long-standing relationship with your current girlfriend, and you broke bread and was still nibbling on her goddamn neck all night. But Robin Autry is the line. What? Robin Autry at a public place is the line.
Mm-hmm.
Child.
So, good riddance, Jordan. I don't want to see you.
Good riddance. Allie, the question I have is Andy actually attracted to controlling men, or is this just self-sabotage?
Self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage. And I'm going to say, this is why I say that. I'm going to keep it real brief. I say that because the only person that we were introduced to for a long time with Andy was Gary. And we knew that Andy was very well aware that this was a married man. Sometimes I think Andy is just in it for the rush. I think Andy sometimes may be in it for the rush. He may be in it for, there are some women who just don't want to be committed, but I'll play around with it because there's a certain level of freedom I still have. Knowing that this man was married, you know that you can never fully be his. You can do certain things and get certain perks, but no. Even with the whole engagement, it always felt like
fully his.
But that's not. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Andy is not all the way wrapped too tight. Sometimes I just think Andy just doesn't want to be alone, and she'll settle for anything.
100%.
Like she'll just settle for anything. I think like even the whole thing with her being in love with Robin, that pissed me off too. Because since when?
I felt
to me,
like
Andy
she almost immediately fell in love with Robin when she first met. Like I would go all the way back to there, and then I felt like, well, I also feel like she kind of fell for him almost immediately because what the hell else was getting her to do a threesome? Maybe interest, but mostly like being enamored with that damn man is what got her in that threesome, in my opinion. Which is also why I struggled with her once the whole Paris debacle went down. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Robin is right about what he said. It was shady as hell for no damn reason. But again, to the point of you have gone not only to hell and back 6 times in Supermax economy with Gary, and these men do one thing, and then now all of a sudden it's donezo, but you have never displayed this capability before. That made no sense to me. So the thin thread that I feel like they're pulling right now with the whole Andy's in love with Gary, I think that in love with Robin, I think that they're going back to that. Before the Paris thing, when she completely got disassociated and wanted to focus on her damn career and blase, boom. I think that the seeds for that was there immediately because he presented everything that Gary kind of had as pluses, but in an actual good guy, in a safe space for her to explore things sexually. And like, he had all the makings of like, oh, okay, yes, I can move on from Gary because this other guy is here and he's given even more than Gary, like what Gary has, or quote unquote what I believe him to have, and more. But to your point, in Andy not being wrapped too tight, I do think that she finds too much validation, too much like, I don't know, life in the chaos that comes from the damn drama. So it feels like the more chaotic, or the more Robin is involved in the chaotic pieces of her life, the more she is developing feelings, whether they're going to have her show it or not.
And it's just weird to me because like the threesome, I was trying to think back on that. I feel like Andy only did that because she was mad at Gary. Like, I don't personally feel that it was so much about Robin
Mm.
more than it was I'm in a place where, did my man piss me off? I'm finna do this because I ain't feeling him right now. And so this is a wide, opportunity. And I know that there are times that we can do things out of anger and do things when we are emotionally unstable. And not that she regretted it or anything, but even with that, she was still very much so, I want you to know I'm with Gary. We're engaged. This is where I am. And in my mind, for me, I just never got, and even going back to what you said about her not showing it, I just never got that Andy was feeling Robin in that way. I just felt like
Even with
Robin
that
was
though,
just
Ellie,
somebody she could have a
like
good time with.
her reiterating the engagement, that to you in that moment didn't feel like she was trying to bait him and like seeming
Oh,
unattainable so that he would want her more? Because that's the same thing that happens over there with Gary. It didn't seem like that to you?
it didn't.
I wasn't paying
It
Andy
didn't.
no mind. Andy be saying, and I'm just like, girl, I see right through you. Everything. I felt like the moment that Robin presented himself, she was just like, oh my God, this is who Gary thinks he is. And that kind of colored how I saw them
I
from
could
there
see
moving
that.
forward.
I could see that.
And she was in
Yeah,
this
they gonna
place
have
of
to do
trying to like
something then.
fight back and like trying to present herself as strong. And even with the narrative around the threesome, I did it because I wanted to. Girl, you did it because you were damn coerced and you were falling for this man. Or maybe you just wanted to piss Gary off. Regardless, you did it for a man.
You did
What
it. You did
man?
it for a
You did it for a
man.
man, honey. You did not do it for your damn self. Be clear. Like, and we see
Right.
right through your
Right.
ass. Okay? Um, so yeah, maybe not. Maybe she doesn't have the seeds, but apparently that's where we're going now, Ellie. She's in love with him.
I know. Yeah, yeah. They gonna have to. Yeah, that's where we at. She
That
in
is
love
where
with him.
we're at. But to me, even that, girl, then if that's the case, then why are you fighting so hard against him? Why are you having such a struggle believing that he actually is coming to your rescue and standing by your side? Like, Andrea, I need you to make it make sense because none of this makes sense except for your cute ass outfit.
And that's what I'm saying. Nothing makes sense. Like for me, and I understand when you're trying to reject something or you may not be in a position to be receptive of even your own feelings. But to tell this man that he was like Gary, to accuse him of possibly stabbing Gary, to have such a disdain for this man, you put hands on this man, and I'm supposed to believe you're in love with him. Like Andy been on one since Robin came back. She really been on one. So it's like I can understand you having maybe residual feelings and emotions from the past, but everything that Andy has shown me in this season alone, you in love with Robin, girl. Honestly, Andy needs to deal with her daddy issues. Because
Ooh.
I think that Annie is seeking a father figure in these men that she's attaching herself to. And even going back to what you were saying about, Penelope and being reminded of someone like Andy, and I believe when she was younger, and I think that Andy overcompensates because she wasn't that chick when she was younger. Your dad
Mm.
died when you were young. Your mom was trying to do everything in the world to give you everything that you wanted because you was missing that other parental figure in your life because your father, was gone. And I remember, I think it was in season 2, Andy was wilding, and she told Karen, "I need to talk to Miss Pam." And she was like, "No, girl, talk to your own mama." She was like, "Girl, my mama would flip out if she knew the things that I was doing because Andy wants to keep a certain image."
Mm-hmm.
With her mom because mom did everything for you because daddy was gone and you want to preserve that. You don't want her to know
Mm-hmm.
who and how you really are. So it would be interesting to see Andy's journey about her own healing because everybody's kind of going on this journey
Yeah.
of healing and self-reflection except her. And I think if we really could get down to that, maybe we could understand. Because Andy she's simple, yet I really don't know why Chick does the things that she does.
Mm.
She's like a Uno wild card,
Yeah.
and I don't know what color to choose.
And for me, I guess it just goes to your point of like needing her to go on a journey of self reflection. It's like Girl, do you know that you have these daddy issues? And if that's the case, at what point are you going to stop fighting it and you're just going to give in? Because something got to shake. Like something along the way. Even if you
Yeah.
pick the wrong man, then you fall down, you get up, and you learn from it, and then you move on. You are seeking maybe not to be controlled, but definitely to be led, and nobody is faulting you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually have a man who could lead you, and you're fighting him tooth and nail, comparing him to the man that you gave carte blanche, right and respect to lead you, and he led your ass to hell 6 times again in max economy. And then this man come forward, and you can't fathom taking the back seat. You cannot fathom taking even the passenger seat, but you have these daddy issues, and I feel like you got to be aware that you have them. So like again, she's gonna have to go on some type of self-reflection journey, to your point, and she gonna have to do something else besides get cute every day. The shit is boring.
Yeah.
It's
It is
trite.
boring.
And then eating these
It's to the
damn
point.
allegations just to make a man feel good. It just furthers this a narrative of her staying in the same place. Stop doing for these men, ma'am.
Yeah.
Do you want the nigga or not?
Because at this point, you got to make a choice, Andy. You have to be like, you got played in this man's face. You need. Do you want him, or do you like? We don't need. Well, I don't know, and I don't want to hear none of that. Do you want to be with Robin, or you don't? That's where we at, sis.
That is where we at.
That's where we at.
There's nothing else to say. Yes or no. You still texting me?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Like it's wild.
Yeah. Okay, moving on, because we just spent way more time on Andy than I had even thought I was going to spend.
Me, girl, me too, child. Yes.
Danni and her accountability, Ellie. We need to talk about professional consequences, and then also ultimatums in the investment that she has made in this relationship.
Baby. Okay.
Starting off with professional consequences. Okay, multiple things can be true. All right. You could be co-workers with a raging entitled whitey. I said it. Who is jealous of your upward mobility, who sees you for who you are, who may accurately point out that you got where you are by laying on your back, which could be very accurate. And he can make some untoward statements to you that are completely inappropriate regardless of any facts. And you could also be wrong for throwing his damn coffee in his face at work. Like, Daniela, please, miss me with he was being mean to me. He started it first. We deal with this, and we shouldn't have to, but we live in America, honey. We live in the United States of A. There's always going to be a nice little white person up in our business. There's always going to be some jealous ass person up in our business. There's always going to be somebody ready to hop on your damn shortcomings. And our job, which we are told at very young, not only to be twice as good, is not give these motherfuckers a reason. And here your ass go, giving them reason after reason after reason after reason to pull your unambitious ass coattails. And then you want to be, oh, you got my back. Oh, you gonna help me out? Girl, go to hell. We took 4 steps forward, and now we 3 steps goddamn back with Daniela King, and I'm tired, okay? I'm tired.
Yes. I feel like you. All right. I feel like you. Danny ain't have no business. And then you did it at work. And like Tony said, you did it in front of witnesses. Yes. You did it in front of people. All the HR representative has to do is ask, who saw this woman knock this cup out of his hand? Everybody gonna raise their hand. And they could give an account for what you did. As you stated, no, what's his name? Lenny should not be in Danny's business. Unfortunately, Tony and Danny put everybody there in their business by being inappropriate at work. So everybody know you banging your boss.
Hello.
No one should have known that information. Y'all shouldn't have been having sex on company grounds. None of these things, but y'all been doing it, whatever the case may be. So not everybody knows. So when Lenny made his statement, as you stated, he was telling the truth. You did get that position from being on your back, doggy style, ass in the air, whatever else you was doing, mouth open, carpal tunnel hands, whatever else you was doing to get that position, baby. That's how you got
And
it.
whatever he said
And
you
that's
did, you
just the
did that.
reality. You did it. That's what it is. You did it, sis. Okay, cool. You did it. Take it and walk back over to your desk. You didn't have to do nothing else. That's just what it is. And then the ultimatum that she gave Tony, you got to make a decision about what she said, which relationship or which position
Matters
means
to you
more to
most?
you.
What position matters to you most? Boyfriend or boss?
Girl, I would
Last time
take
I
boss
checked,
for
your
a
coochie
thousand,
ain't paying the
Alex.
rent or my child support. So,
Baby, your coochie barely paying your rent. Damn sure can't pay his. So what you, girl? I was like, first of all, Danny, there is not even enough investment for you to even make a declaration like that to this man
you
who has an
just
ex-wife and
this
2 kids.
morning, Allie, she just this morning realized that she has been set tripping this entire 4 months that they've been together and decided to do better. And now you telling him this? He's been dragging you through this relationship, kicking and screaming into happiness and health. And now you gonna tell
Hmm.
him,
You got my back, right? You got my back. Have my back. I said, what the hell is going on at this moment? But okay.
but
Okay, but yeah, I
okay.
mean, I can't even be mad at it, and I'm not mad at it. It's the mere fact this episode for me, especially with Danny's character, I was just happy to see a character get some consequences for their decisions other than
Mm,
Karen.
mm,
I really was because you should have been suspended.
yeah.
Now I don't know, without pay or anything like that, but there should have been some consequences to what you did because one, you did it in front of people. Never should have did, and you just got out of a meeting with the
Yes.
with the HR rep.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I
Literally,
was worried that Tony was gonna get consequences. I thought that he
that's
was
what
gonna
I
lose
thought.
his job. And to
That's what
me,
I thought
what's
too.
interesting is that doesn't seem to ever have crossed her mind. So it's like he has to have your back, but who the hell has his? Who gonna make sure he
Mhm.
good and he keep his job?
Mhm. Because when he unbuttoned that button, I said, "Oh my God, they fired him." That's what I thought. And when it took him a minute to tell the information, I said, "Oh my God, this man done lost his job." But when he told, well, I lost my parking spot. I got to pick up trash. You're suspended without pay, effective immediately. And the look on her face, I said, yeah, it's all fun and games. You could play with a job, act like you don't need it, act like you, until you're no longer in a position to work there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to have a moment of, oh man, baby. No, no, no. You got to deal with the consequences. Now, no, that's something different. Okay, so we're still on Danny. So we're gonna talk about when she called her best friend Tima.
You can talk
You
about
called
it.
your best friend Tima. Hey Tima, I'm gonna make it real brief because nobody want to talk about Zach and Fatima, but I know we gotta discuss it. Hey Tima, girl, what you doing? Hey girl, what's up? Good sis, how you doing? I said, I'm sorry, what?
The last time
When
we
did
saw her
this
make a
happen?
call to Fatima feigned like she was bothering her.
Thank you. Thank you. That's when they were trying to get information about this wedding with Andy and Gary. And why she calling me? Oh, but that's supposed to be that's our friend, babe. That's our sis.
That's our girl who's gonna stay in our guest room.
Okay.
Our guest room if she loses her apartment at the duplex that don't have no other rooms and or doors. The hell are y'all talking about? They had Michael sleeping on that leather ass couch, and you talking about Daniela gonna sleep in a guest room.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have no walls. You don't have no doors upstairs.
That was one of the things that pissed me off. I said, I wouldn't have minded if Danny and Fatima became friends organically, I guess. But it's just the mere fact they are trying to push this thing so hard that it was just overkill for me. Even when they got off the phone, well, you gotta go check on her, babe. Is she a damn child?
What if she
Is
does
Danny
something
a
before we
Danny
get
isn't a
there?
word. Like what? What the hell is Danny about to do? I mean, babe, she's going through a lot, and the way she's talking, I said so. Fatima just clean up everybody's mess. She ain't just super saver hole for
Mm-hmm.
Zach. She got to be super saver hole for Danny.
You
Really,
damn right.
it's
The way she
I
busting
can't
people's
stand it.
houses like she a goddamn
Oh
Powerpuff Girl, but we
Lord,
ain't got there yet.
we ain't got there yet. But yeah, but that was just like that whole thing, and then Zach going to the airport while she's going to Tamara and Hayden's house by herself. But I ain't never by myself. I'm always packing. Girl, okay, we'll get there later. But then when Zach
Question,
shows up,
question, friend.
mm-hmm,
We question specifically to Zach showing up. How does he get to the gates?
it's Zach. They probably let him in, because he probably used to work there, or it's Zach. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Even now in his
He can
regular
do
ass
it
clothes. So we
in
pretending
his
like
regular
TSA
clothes.
does not exist.
It don't exist. It don't
I
exist in
didn't let it
Sisters.
slide the one time you had her come down here specifically so that Danny could tell him that Karen's a hoe. I let it slide then.
Mm-hmm.
But him having carte blanche access to the behind the security gates where people are taking off, just strolling up.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Allie. He has
yeah.
arrived.
He's come, and it's just amazing how Danny is just so free with him to tell you everything that's going on and how she feels. You my girl. I got you. You one of my best friends. Me and Fatima love you. We got. I said, get the hell off my screen. Get the hell off my screen. And I do want to make it clear. It's not the fact that one. I've just been a person where Zach has ignored this woman for 3 seasons, and now all of a sudden she's your best friend. She's your sister. You're making all these stops at her house, at the airport, making sure she's okay. The writers of Sisters, they do this, and for me it will always be a disconnect. But I'm like, this, we're not gonna act like now all of a sudden Danny is the best friend to Zach and Fatima. Please stop. Please stop that narrative. It's just so stupid.
Y'all been
And
paying
now
this
she's
damn girl dust. Zach made it on up, moved on out the damn east side, and wanted to pretend like every last one of the sisters didn't exist until having to progress in his pregnancy with Karen.
okay.
But now all of a sudden, they have one great talk, and this has always been her brother for life, and
Brother for
he got a
life.
guest bed for her. If y'all believe that, I got a bridge to sell y'all asses in Brooklyn. You know, it's ready. I give it to you for the
Oh
cheap.
my god. Yes.
But rounding
I
out the
ain't got
Danny
nothing else.
coverage, Allie, two questions.
Okay.
Answer both, answer none. Y'all can answer anything on chat. What is Danny actually bringing to this relationship? And how many times is Tony going to risk his career before he realizes that there's an imbalance in his relationship?
That has been my question ever since we came back. What, the second half of season 7, when they did the 3 month jump, and we see Tony in the bed with Danny, and
Mm-hmm.
he brought up therapy at that point, because we didn't know who we were, going to be introduced to. We didn't know the characters of these men and what they stood for. From that moment on, I have been trying to figure out what the hell does Tony see in Danny, because I have no earthly idea. I don't even know what she brings, because, as you stated just a few moments ago, it was just that morning that Danny realized how she had been treating Tony in the midst of this relationship. She came to the acknowledgement and the awareness that the way that she was talking to Zach and being able to lay her burdens down with Zach, she should have been able to do that with her man. Why didn't you know that? What is he in this for? Because if anything, he is definitely getting the shorter end of the stick. Other than other than busting a nut, I don't know what he's getting. You've been with this woman for what, 4.5, 5 months? She just cooked you dinner, what, 2 days ago for the first time? I have no idea what he's getting in this relationship. I really don't know. And it looks like he's getting to the point of being tired of Danny.
Yeah. And can we blame him? Honestly, can we really
No,
blame him?
absolutely not.
I
No.
feel like he has a certain level of like feeling of guilt and obligation to show up for her specifically at work, and we saw that, right, with the whole putting her in the management program to begin with. And also, before we get off of that, we need to speak to her like initially getting the punishment of getting kicked out of the program and completely being fine with it, as if that man didn't move heaven and earth to put her there, and then she
Yes.
created all
I
this problems within their
yes.
relationship once he did, and then she finally made peace with it and decided she was going to go ahead and go for it, and now she's willing to like let it go this easy because she ain't never won it anyway.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that was something.
And your bestest pal Zach is like, well, you ain't
That was
won it
something.
anyway, so he's championing your continued mediocrity. But that's your friend, though.
Yes.
Got it.
That's
Got
your
it.
friend. That's your friend. Hmm. Yeah, it was just the lack of just acknowledgement, even with that, because that's why I'm like, we still talk about this. Even just having Danny say, dang, babe, I know you did a lot to get me in that program. I'm sorry, that's how it. But it's like, no, the
It
fact
will
that
go a
she was
long way.
pretty much jumping for joy,
Yep.
just something so small like that.
Yep.
Like, I know you had to cut corners to get me in there. Babe, I'm sorry about that. No, no accountability, no responsibility. I said, I'm just so sick and tired of Danny playing victim. I'm just tired of it.
Because that's
As
exactly
you
what it
stated, you
is.
take 4 steps forward, then 3 steps back, and then as you stated with Zach, well, well, you ain't want it anyway. Well, everybody, didn't get insider trading tips,
Hello.
Zach.
We all can't hit the lotto.
Okay, you gonna pay her rent? Probably not, cause you ain't even working.
You too
You
busy
you
letting
can't do it.
Fatima
You
bring
can't
home
help
the
her
bacon.
out.
Child.
Okay,
All right. We're going
okay.
to go ahead and move on. Anything else in reference to
Yeah,
Daniela King?
no, I'm done with her.
We done with you, ho.
We done. Yeah, we done. We done. We done with you, chick.
Okay, so do we want to go to Karen and Aaron, or do we want to do plot development analysis? Specifically going to Gary, to Zach and Fatima investigation.
Yeah, let's do them because they should be maybe not long to deal with them because I ain't got much to say
Okay,
about
so
them.
plot development, little ass plots that's
Yeah,
happening. Gary's
yeah.
calling on Hayden for changing of his power of attorney, but not before he get a little bit of hospital head. Mm, amen.
I said, get. I said, I know this girl. You are not wanting this young lady to suck your nasty, dirty, amnesia Disney in this hospital room. And yes,
Yes.
you did.
Yes, he
And yes,
did.
she did. With no hesitation, with no resistance, baby girl got down on her knees and started bobbing. I said, I'm done.
With the ease, she put
Oh,
up no fight. Like, girl, this man is giving all types of your loans is not getting paid off. So you have the nerve to give up the neck when he already has not shown up for the one promise he's giving you. You hoes gotta stop looking for free.
baby.
You see what
What?
Tamara's at? That's what effing for free gets you.
Samara, people can say what they want to about Tamara, but baby, what she did got her a house, no rent, a ring,
I don't know. I don't
free
know,
room and
Allie.
board, free food.
Before she got entangled with Gary, it looked like she was up because she
Man,
had Hayden wrapped around her finger. Now she got an incel that's angry at her. She got a little midget man that is putting paws
yeah,
on her. It's
yeah,
giving
she
she's
messed
down
it up.
50, Allie.
She down. I mean, she messed it up. I mean, he was digging out old, Miss Marie over here. But
Child.
that's how it go. Men can cheat and men
They
can have sex, but
anytime.
you better not do it.
Better not.
You
Better
better not
not.
do it.
I don't know if the same way I don't give a damn about who the hell stabbed Gary. I don't give a damn if he gets his power of attorney back and his autonomy back. I don't give a damn if he gets out this hospital. I don't give a damn if he gets all his memories and figures out who stabbed him. I don't quite literally give a damn. The most intriguing part of this was just watching Cheeto get to play as Gary in this moment because he was smiling like, girl, you're going to suck this, you know what? And I know that you're going to do it. And I was just like, Cheeto, this is dangerous. I don't appreciate you being equipped with these tools, sir. Running them up probably in the world. Is Cheeto married?
No.
Cheeto is single.
Cheeto
Child.
is single. Let me tell you something. Cheeto posted some pictures yesterday because I follow him. And I follow him. I think Cheeto is one of the most gorgeous men. I think
He's
he is
really handsome.
absolutely. I mean, he's that. And it's so interesting watching him because Cheeto is completely. He's nothing like Gary. Like
Mm.
just absolutely nothing like Gary. And I remember hearing him speak a few years ago with DeVal, and they was talking about like relationships and marriage, and he was just saying how he knew he wasn't ready to be in that position, so he wouldn't even put a woman in that position because he know that he isn't ready. So just listening to him, I'm like,
Mm.
this is a very intelligent, emotionally intelligent man. And not only that, you know, he was raised right. I believe he's Nigerian, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not mistaken. And he was like, he went to the store one day, and these ladies was like yelling at him because like he's Gary, and his mom was like, "What did you do? Like what?" What did you do to these women? He was like, Mom, it's a character,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But he's so good. Cheeto is so good playing Gary that sometimes I'm like, this is Gary, not Cheeto,
We
because
gotta watch.
Cheeto, baby,
We gotta watch.
Cheeto,
I'm
Gary,
gonna run into
but
Cheeto in
he's
real
he's
life,
doing
and I'm
such
gonna
a
be
good
like,
job.
mm. Keep my eye on
Yeah,
him.
he's just amazing. I
He's
really would.
slicker
I
than
have to give him
slick.
that. He's slicker than slick. But as you stated, I don't give a damn about any of the things that's happening with the character of Gary because it's just been dragged out for too long. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care if Samira stabbed him and Hayden was helping. I don't care at this point. I just want
Yeah.
it to be over. I don't want to see him on my screen anymore. Like
And
Cheeto,
it's
I
also
love
the
you, but
execution of how they dragging it out, right? Like they having everybody
mhm,
talk around it. How many times are we gonna have Tamara say, Hayden, you did it? But she doesn't actually know. But then all magically, oh my God, I seen you outside there and I was only down there to throw it in his fiance's face. Like, what?
yeah,
What? And I don't want to
yeah,
jump
it
to
just
Hayden
didn't
and
make
Samara too much, but I feel like it's the way because like they could have literally dragged out the who did it this whole time without centering it so much with repetitive ass dialogue, and then it would have probably been okay. But the way that they did it's just like they have just beaten this dead horse, and they just continue to do it, and we're
yes.
tired.
We're tired. Hmm. Yeah, that's where I am with it.
But y'all,
Don't care.
your favorites in their criminal investigation. That's also another plot
Oh,
development. After we
oh
spend
Lord,
entirely too
Fatima
much
is
of the time at the duplex with them trying to figure out if they're gonna go check on Danny, if they're gonna go run up on uh Tamara and Hayden. But also when we run up on
yeah.
Tamara and Hayden, let's do what we do and like you fight Tamara and I'm gonna fight Hayden. But I forgot you were pregnant. Oh brother. I tell you this. I tell you this, and I'ma stand on what I'm about to say. I ain't see
What you about
Zach
to say?
forget Karen was pregnant once.
Why we on the same page? Why we on the
Wake that
same
up.
page?
Wake that up.
Yes. This is the time for me to be messy. This is my messy time. This is my messy time. Because the fact that this is Miss Taylor, Mrs. Taylor, Mrs. Taylor Esquire, my wife. Zach is so performative. Zach is so damn performative because it amazes me how Fatima is your fiance. Fatima is the woman who you claim has treated you better than any person you've ever met in life. This is the woman who you lay with every night. This is the woman who you say you don't know what you would do if she was to ever leave you. And you got the audacity to forget that she's carrying your child. But you ain't never forget that Karen was carrying your child. Matter of fact, you have tried to rearrange your entire financial portfolio to make sure that Michael and baby girl was taken care of before you even knew what Karen was having. It was all about Michael and baby girl. It's always at the forethought of your mind. But Fatima's pregnancy is easy to be forgotten. Is that what you saying, Zach? I don't even like how they just, clean got over that. Now we need to go back to that. Because how you forget she's pregnant? And not only that, y'all supposed to be caring for Michael, who we never see, and y'all are about to go and probably assault two grown ass adults. But I'm supposed to believe that Zach is an upstanding father. I'm supposed to get the hell out of here. This is why it will always be hell for Zach, because you got people that they want to know why people hate on them. And for me, it's not even hate. It's about being honest.
I got a comment
Honesty does not.
Yesterday. Good to see you're still childish and hating on Zach and Fatima. I said,
girl,
Zach and Fatima hate on Zach and Fatima. Hell, Zach hates on Fatima.
We've been saying it. We've been saying it over and over again, and don't nobody want to give us our props. But there's always got to be, oh, y'all don't like them, y'all hating on them. And on them, this man just flat out told his fiance, I want you to go over there and pop, 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 pop. Oh, baby, my bad. I forgot. You carrying my baby. I'm sorry, what the hell? Somebody in my comments, I did a video about the sneak peek, and somebody in my video was like, this is actually supposed to be a funny scene. Funny where? What woman is going to find it humorous that my fiance forgot that I was pregnant, but you always remember your ex-girlfriend's pregnancy?
The same fiance who now apparently needs my muscle, shout out to the chat, the same way he needs me to bring home the bacon. He needing a hell of a lot. It's giving, not funny, haha, it's giving funny weird.
It's giving funny weird. It's giving funny. The even more insult to injury, Monday through Friday, I get my pregnant ass up and go to work. While you sit here and make tacos. While you sit here and take Michael to the bus stop, you don't even take him to school. And you do nothing. And you forget I'm pregnant? Gee. Okay. Okay.
I think that
I'm gonna forget some things too.
I'm hoping that they realize their overuse of Fatima in Sistas is turning out to bite them, because personally they don't even have much of nothing for them to do, which is why they give them so little in reference to actual movement. And then because we have so much content on them, we have reference points to things that you have already established. So you're just adding insult to injury. Zach is giving no good nigga. He is. No, he can look good all the hell he wants. Great. He washes his ass. But what exactly do he bring to this relationship? Problems. Chaos.
And penis. That's it.
Confusion.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
And then now, forgetfulness.
I guess Gary ain't the only one with amnesia.
Child, the way this man has never forgot that Karen was pregnant. And at the moment notice. And then you had the nerve to get your damn hopes up. And we on it. I want y'all to really understand that we're on it. Because you got your hopes up as if the damn baby is kicking and it's the size of a damn llama bean right now, sir. Just because you ain't getting no kick out of them twins because they know that your ass ain't good enough yet, don't mean that you can manifest a kick from the kid that you don't even remember that exists. I'm on your ass, Zachary. I'm on your ass.
Baby, Zach was trying to manifest the kiss. I just want to feel a baby kick.
Any baby.
I want to feel a baby kick because the other two they went kick for me.
Let me feel your baby.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. My baby. You weren't doing that. You weren't doing it. And then it's just added insult to injury. Just the previous day before. You call Fatima, yeah, I'm gonna go check on Karen if that's okay. So Karen's pregnancy and Karen is at the forethought of your mind. Is at the forethought of your mind.
But a street fight.
Yeah, we know it's the writers. Right. You won't put her in a position to go fight somebody? Really? And then my thing is, it don't matter if Fatima got a firearm. It doesn't matter if Fatima thinks she big and bold. It's just the mere fact how Fatima continues to walk into someone's house and not get her ass dealt with. Yes, she's pregnant,
No,
so I do not want anyone to put their hands on
I
her.
do. I do. And I don't
But
give a good goddamn how y'all perceive me now that I said it. I'm sorry, Allie. I just I damn do. I wanted Tamara to bop, bop, bop. As soon as that door swung open, I wanted her to mock just one good time. Because who the hell do you think you are, bro? Who do you think that you actually are? You're not Batgirl. What the hell? Fatima,
yeah,
please. And as it pertains to the character development of these characters, right? And as a teaminess of it all, Zach, every chance he gets, when Fatima's getting out of hand and then she's going for the gun, she got bats in people's houses. Oh, no, 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 stop. But then he also wants to elicit a response and start a street fight with her. So which one is it? Do you want her calm or do you want her riled up, ready to go? Fatima,
yeah.
are you trying to get answers or are you just trying to play madam? Because that's what it gave. I literally screamed,
Ooh,
your ass is not madam. Why are you kicking in people's doors? And you quote
yeah, you're
unquote
not.
pregnant. This is how he forgot that the damn baby is in there because your ass forgot that the damn baby is in there. What are you doing? If Tamara would have mink upside your head, you would have been deserving of it. Pregnant and all.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
said
thing.
it.
Tamara don't know she's pregnant. Tamara don't know she's pregnant. So Tamara would have wop up that tab upside the head. Hell, she didn't know.
I'm
She
tired.
came into my house unannounced, and that's what we're saying. Like I know I be having fun. I be making jokes and stuff like that, but it's like that's the reality of watching Zach and Fatima on this show. And I've said it several times. There is no reason for Zach and Fatima to be on this season of Sistas. They have literally done nothing, and they have been on every single
Episode.
episode. They have brought nothing, excuse me, to this season at all. We want to give Fatima, she big bad Tima. Ain't nobody scared of you. Walking into people's homes when Tamara said, I ain't got time for this. Well, you better make time. I'm sorry, Trick. What? Get your ass. I want Tamara to cuss her ass out.
No, I
Because
need
who
her
the
to
hell
lay
do you think
hands
you
on her.
are?
She barged into this
Well,
girl house like she was the
she
police.
did. She did. We ain't gonna get that. We ain't gonna get nobody. Nobody can touch the golden goose. But I need y'all to cuss her ass out. Because it's ridiculous at this point. And this is why I've been saying it since the past 3 seasons. Fatima is a damn bully. She's a damn bully.
She
Like,
is.
what are you doing? You do these things, yet when someone comes to your house unannounced, you have a certain energy, but you don't mind doing it to other people. Her and
Hello.
Zach do the same thing. They have these crazy expectations of others that they are not willing to live up themselves. And I've always
And
had an
enough is
issue with
enough.
that when it comes to his character. It's old.
Enough
It's
is
old.
not
It's old and it's
enough.
tired.
They are not helping Fatima's character in the likability department because, girl, nobody is rooting for you barging into this girl's house. But then you also are trying to coerce a confession out of her. What about this sets it up for her to be able to reveal anything to you?
Yeah.
You barged into my house, seemingly ready to fight. The fact that you're not
Hmm.
met with hands is already more grace than you deserve on her end. Because if she would have whooped your ass upon stepping across that damn threshold and then called the cops, they would have said, well, man, what are you doing here? She wouldn't have served not one day for whooping your pregnant ass.
Not one. Not one. But yeah.
And this
And I'm
investigation is
like,
stupid.
it's the dumbest thing they could have gave him. It's the dumb, like, yeah, I don't even understand.
I'm sick
I don't
of it.
understand.
So we can go. We can go on
Hmm.
to where we belong any damn way. Oh, wait, we forgot about Sabrina. I actually don't even have Sabrina on this.
Oh, I forgot about
Not
Sabrina.
her
Oh,
little righteous ass moment. I forgot about it. Well, actually, I would just prefer to go over to Aaron and Karen now. So Sabrina, you just gonna have to wait, girl.
me too. I
Don't
just
jump
think it's not
in.
really. I don't talk about you, noise. But I mean,
Let's talk about
yeah, it
physical
was.
intimacy to start with versus emotional intimacy. Because
Mm,
while again, y'all, I don't have no problems with them doing the do, going to go. Right. I personally struggled with, don't say I didn't mean I didn't want it to happen or like I was mad about it. I'm not mad about it. But for for Karen to resolve to like let me show you that I really care about you and my feelings are real and we go to sex, I said this is somebody else's toolbox. This is not hers. You know this man
Mm-hmm.
too well. You know this man too intimately. Like, yes, y'all can have sex and you've been craving it, great. But what else is going to be the thing, the solidifier? Because sexual chemistry was never y'all's problem. I don't think that he needs convincing in that department.
Yeah. I wanted so much more. Um, when Aaron asked her, you know, can she understand the reason he asked the question, and she said yes. And meet me in 10 minutes. I want to show you. I'm like, no, 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 no. What happened? Because I really wanted them to have a conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I just felt like Aaron deserved more. I felt like they deserved more. And this is why I will stand on, I don't care who the writer is of this episode, I'm blaming the whole writer's team. There is a true, in my opinion, depiction of who y'all like and who y'all don't like. And I have heard several things because I don't be on Twitter at all like that unless Tracy tags us in the extended trailer and I go over there and I do a screen record of it. I don't be on Twitter. But I have heard that the writers have literally said that they are Team Zatima. And to me, your writing depicts that, even though I think y'all do try Fatima at times, it really shows in the scenes with Aaron and Karen because y'all give them such short scenes. And with anybody, a conversation was needed. Hell, we gonna get a conversation with Rich and Sabrina, and I don't give a damn what he got to say at this
Yeah.
point. But
Oh.
there's gonna be a conversation.
Yep.
There was a conversation with Andy and Jordan, and I could give two damns what he has to say. We couldn't get a legit conversation between Aaron and Karen. Are you serious? So as you stated, we're just gonna resort to sex, and that's not even in Karen's wheelhouse. Now I know it's been about 5.5, 6 months, and she probably has had sex. I get that, but she's not sex hungry or sex driven at this moment. She's just not. A conversation was needed.
Yeah.
They deserve that. A conversation. I was not, as you stated, I was happy to see them do whatever they needed to do or whatnot. But I still felt
But
like
the
I was
question is
missing
still
something.
there. Once the nut happens, the question is still gonna be there, and
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be mad at him if he still asks. Like, great. Somebody said she was riding that thing like it needed to be rode. Great. But that was
I
never the
mean,
problem. That was never the question. And I posed it as like physical intimacy versus emotional intimacy because I feel like they interrupted a moment where they could go to a new level in reference to depth of emotional intimacy with the injection of like, well, I'll show you physically when they were already on the
mm-hmm.
right path if they would have just allowed for them to have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. It was just an opportunity that was missed. But I just think that honestly, I think they were trying to placate to the majority of the online fandom. With, oh, she's using him. I just asked somebody in the chat that stated she's using him. I want to know, how is she using him?
But how would
Because
that
I
even
think
be
that's
placating
always.
to them? Because most of these damn people online don't like Karen, don't want the best for her. So if y'all taking off any direction from people online of what to do with Karen, y'all also ultimately looking to doom they asses. And then too, I feel like them
Mm-hmm,
going to sex immediately would be furthering the narrative of, oh, she's just using him, because you're not taking the time to
mm-hmm,
dive into the real things. You're not taking the time to tell him what pissed you off the most about Jennifer and how unsafe you might have felt and how played you might have been and all of the things that could
mm-hmm.
be the things percolating in your brain. You're not going to tell him that. You're just going to make him come. Girl, that's some
Yeah, it
Fatima
was just
stuff to do. And while y'all are
it
similar,
was
you
just.
ain't Fatima. Thank God.
Oh my God. It was just a lot. It was just a lot in that manner of just seeing them not have a conversation. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was highly disappointed because, like you stated, there were so many things, and I know they couldn't cover everything in the time in which they gave them, but there were certain things that needed to be addressed by them both.
So
I
that the
feel,
air could be
especially,
clear, and then you can have all types of butt
yeah,
naked ass wild sex you want. The
yes,
moment everything is clear, free and clear, because specifically that's how their relationship works. Everybody else's
mm-hmm,
relationship is predicated on sex. So fine. Most of them don't talk about much nothing until after they bust. Karen and Aaron are not that. They literally went through the whole abstinence era, all of these things that help flesh out other parts of their relationship. So their relationship is quite literally not built on sex. So for her to go to that immediately is just out of character and annoying. And then again, it still leaves us where, like I said, where we were. I wouldn't be mad at him if he's still asking, even though Miss Lisa walked in. I said, y'all taking a long time to get to it if y'all gonna get to it. I know somebody coming to interrupt y'all's asses. And look at little bald headed ass Miss Lisa. Ugh.
she
That
was
lady's
gonna
on
go
my
into labor.
nerves. That lady is on my nerves.
She is
You heard
annoying.
what was going on in this bedroom. If you can't check on your daughter, the bedroom is closed. Stay your ass outside.
Please. My whole thing is this. You knew when you left who you left me here with. You don't see us in the front. Karen only has a one bedroom. That means you know what the hell going down. You know what the hell going on. Don't bring your ass in here. And
Please.
why you in this room, mama? Why you in here, mama? Get out. Baby, that preview had me laughing when she was like, I told you to make sure she's relaxed. He's talking about something. She looked pretty relaxed to me. I said, I know that's right, baby.
I know that's right,
No,
Aaron.
I know that's right. Yes, ma'am.
Aaron said mission accomplished. Do y'all want a sandwich?
Oh my God.
But y'all still did our
Oh
girl
my
dirty.
Lord. Y'all really did. Y'all really did.
And
But
before
what
the
I
end of the
can, what
season,
I
we need an
can,
Aaron and Karen centered damn episode. I need to see 20 minutes of Aaron and Karen, or I'm going to riot. I fear.
it needs to be more than 2 minutes. It needs to be more than whatever they have been given because they really played in our face, giving Zach and Fatima all this screen time that
To
is
do
we don't
nothing.
need. They do absolutely nothing.
Screen time to
And
forget about her damn pregnancy and to play Paw Patrol. What are we watching?
that's right. That's right. I asked myself that question many a times tonight. But what
Oh,
I will say that I did enjoy about that scene is that even before they got to the sex part, I thought it was like really intimate.
it was.
Um,
It was.
oh my
But
God.
but
It's been
Allie,
a
I feel like
minute.
that necessarily, and I'm not trying to shade these writers, I swear I'm not, but I feel like that wasn't even on the page. I feel like that was Kevin and Ebony because
Absolutely.
the way
Mm-hmm.
that Ebony, I said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Ebony,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
girl,
Mm-hmm. I'm here with you. I
child,
think that Aaron I think that Kevin and Ebony have wonderful chemistry. They just have amazing chemistry. And it looked very well on screen. That's what I'm gonna say. It looked very well
yes
on
it
screen.
did, yes it
Just
did.
the intent gazes, just the her putting her hand on his chest and then him putting his hand on top of her. It was very intimate. So I would give props to Ebony and Kevin for really selling that because it was they did it well.
They
They
definitely
did it
did.
well. Yeah, without being raunchy, it wasn't
Okay,
nasty. I didn't. It was
they didn't
done very
even need
well.
all of that. We got
They
faces
didn't.
and
Mhm.
knew exactly
Mhm.
what, like, all right. You know what? Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah. But before we move on from Karen and Aaron, I do want to touch on someone was in the chat talking about Karen is using Aaron and doesn't like Aaron. Can somebody speak to that? Like, can y'all flesh out that thought and explain to us? Because this is the perfect time. These comments pop up on the videos and whatever, and then there's no additional context, there's no additional receipts, there's no additional proof, there's no nothing to actually have a conversation around it. Now y'all got us live and direct. What do you mean by Karen is just using Aaron? In what way? The chemistry is top tier.
It'll
I
be.
agree. Let me read some of these
Yeah.
comments while we give whoever the chance. I don't remember who said it, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying that.
CC Mills.
uh,
Because
uh,
I asked the question. I asked the question, how is she using him? But I don't think it was a response given.
Tam B said 10, 10, 10s across the board. Yes. Their intimate scenes typically give. I ain't even gonna hold
They
y'all.
do.
They typically give.
They do.
Shout
They
out to
do.
Ebony Obsidian and Kevin. What is Kevin's last name?
Ken
Walton?
Walton. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sierra says Karen is not using Aaron. They both have always liked each other. I agree.
And I think we know, like the ones that's on this side of the coin, we know how we feel about. Well, let me just be frank. We know what the hell we was watching, and to me, everybody else do too. You know what? And not to make anybody feel like they can't speak their minds, but we knew what we was watching. We saw this woman, especially in season 2, really fall for him. She wasn't mentioning Zach's name. It was none of that. We literally saw the foundation of this relationship happening. Unfortunately, was doing the uncoupling of her and Zach and
Mm-hmm.
those, residual feelings and emotions and things of that nature. But when I see people make those comments about, oh, she's using him, she don't really like him, I'm like, yeah, not only does she like him, she loves him. And she made that very clear, even with those letters. She told Aaron, like, I really, really love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that was legit. That was legit. Unlike Zach, who just immediately jumped into something, with Fatima, I do give um acknowledgement and props to the character of Karen for allowing herself to go through those difficult emotions and those difficult feelings that she had to face in order to be in a position now to be able to receive what Aaron has been trying to give her this entire time, so that now when they do connect, it's not, I have to worry about her heart being with Zach, or the possibility of, if something were to happen, she would leave me at the drop of a dime. That's not where she is right now, and I can appreciate that. I think with Zach and Fatima, we would just, and think about it, for the first couple seasons, everything was just sex with them. It was sex, sex, sex all the time, and we slowly gotten away from that. And now, for me, we see without the sex, what the hell do they have? I want you to go bop, bop, bop against somebody's head. The possibility of being
Child.
thrown in jail. What's gonna happen to my 3-year-old son?
Child. Cece Mills came back and said she flipped the script on her feelings for him when she learned that Fatima was pregnant. So, what about when she was struggling with falling for him while still decoupling from Zach and learning that she was pregnant and actually having that conversation with Aaron multiple times? She was so scared, so anxious when she started to really fall for him. And we have multiple scenes. Hell, I will go back to the bedroom scene of like, you're too good to me, and I'm so confused. These are things that she's actually has said this whole entire time. So to move the goalpost and say, oh, she's only with Aaron and she's using Aaron now because Fatima is pregnant. Her feelings for Aaron developed well before Fatima's pregnancy,
Yes.
and well before her even finding out about it. What I struggle with in the fandom as they handle the Karen character is the lack of grace that they give her, because we are also never really, when we're pushing back with the criticism, the counter criticism on this character, what I feel like a lot of y'all are not even actually taking into consideration is that the girl is also pregnant by Zach. At a time where we watch her not being able to let go of Zach, she also was pregnant and very sure that he was the father. And maybe if you're not a woman, I don't know. I'm not saying that. Maybe if you're not a woman, you can definitely not understand this, but to be in a position, whether he is an ex or not, but to be pregnant by someone, it changes things for you. Not just physically in reference to you growing a damn bump and carrying a baby, but your brain chemistry also changes. Your hormones actually adjust, and that actually influences how you move through life and make decisions. I understood immediately why Karen was going crazy a lot of the times, specifically because it was tied to a damn pregnancy. All bets are off when a pregnancy happens. All of a sudden, we want to make it work for the damn baby when a pregnancy pop up. Whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what happens. And the fact that people want to negate or ignore the fact that Karen is pregnant and has been pregnant by Zach, which adds a certain level of complexity to this decoupling. It's a lot easier to walk away when you're not carrying this nigga's seed. But then I go back to y'all trying to say, oh, she only likes him now because she found out about Fatima's pregnancy. Well, what about also her finding out that Aaron is also one of the fathers, which psychologically opens her up to like, oh, wait. So I could possibly be with one of the fathers. The same way that her being pregnant by Zach could have also been fuel to push her in that direction towards that man, could also be the thing that was helping her create distance and be defensive when it came to Aaron, because I think that you're not the father of my damn child. But that weight is now lifted because guess what? You are. Now I can allow myself to experience everything that I'm feeling, thinking everything that I'm thinking. Oh, but no, we're not gonna approach Karen as if she's an actual person, a full person with tons of feelings, emotions, and everything. Fatima gets all the grace. Andy gets all the grace. Daniela gets all the grace. Sabrina gets all the grace. But that damn Karen, no. Oh, okay.
And I think it's interesting too because just on tonight's episode, we watched Andy. Pretty much, she was in what, a 3-4 month relationship with Jordan, all while now being in love with a whole nother man. These people, the same people who's commenting about Karen, had nothing to say about that. And this is a woman who literally is saying, "Yeah, I was with you, I cared about you, I did this, but my heart was elsewhere." It's okay for Andy, and I really appreciate the conversations I do have with people who may be Zach and Fatima fans or whatever the case may be, but they can deal in reality. And the reality is like you said, a lot of times grace is not extended to Karen. Or I may see people who may say, well, Karen don't never have to deal with her the consequences of her decisions. The entire time this woman has been on this show, she's been dealing with consequences of her decisions.
The entire
So
time.
when we can have that dialogue, and I think there's just certain people who I think just want us to be nasty or unapproachable. It's like, no, let's have the dialogue. And then when you have the dialogue, speak what you feel and not regurgitate the stuff you heard from another reviewer. Speak how you feel. What do you really see? And speak from a place of not just because you don't like the character, but actually, what do you see in this? Because the truth be told, Karen's feelings for Aaron has always been there. Did she have conflicting emotions at times for Zach and Aaron? Absolutely.
Hello.
And we literally saw that when they had sex in the closet. People get on Karen for that as if she had sex and got pregnant by herself.
Hello.
Because literally that same day, Zach was sliding out of Fatima that morning and sliding into Karen that night.
Ooh.
But she's called the hoe because she slept with Zach and Aaron in close proximity of each other. But nothing gets said about Zach. So when I see things like that, my thing is I may not like certain decisions that happen, but I can extend grace to all the characters on this show. I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna call Fatima out as well. She doesn't get any special treatment. I ain't never looked at her like that. But at the same time, I would never say that. Yeah, Fatima is using Zach. No, unfortunately, she loves the bastard, and she wants to be with him, and she's not going anywhere. Regardless of the treatment that she receives from him. So let's not act like, yes, this is sisters, but let's not act like on Fatima, Zach wasn't willing to make Fatima a single mother because he had to beat his crackhead brother so badly. So not only was Zach in a position to make Fatima a single mother, but you're also going to raise my 3-year-old child that I got with another woman. He had no qualms about that. So when people try to tell me how great of a man Zach is, how much he loves Fatima, it goes in one ear and out the other ear because his actions have shown me otherwise. There is nothing that Zach can do after he beat Jeremiah's ass and you put Fatima in a position to be a single mother with 2 children. You ain't got, I don't care what you do from this point. Because you've shown me what you would be willing to do. So when I have those type of conversations with fans, I get the silent treatment or they don't respond no more. They don't respond anymore. But it's like, no, let's have the conversation. Zach and Fatima is a very toxic situation. But let's talk about it.
To take the baton and go further, because when you were talking about Karen and she's always had feelings for Aaron, what came up for me so quick was the competing feelings. Her cultivating a love for Aaron very, very early on, and multiple things taking place. So she is pregnant by her ex. She still has feelings for her ex. She's cultivating new feelings for this new man, while also competing with an ideology, a mindset, if you will, a limiting belief, if you will, that she doesn't deserve a man like the new man. So let's not act surprised that now all of a sudden she wants Aaron, and it's all because of Fatima, when at the end of the day, she spent the time that she needed to spend doing what she needed to do to clear out all the extra mess. All of this has been here from the start. These feelings for Aaron have been here for the start, but guess what? They no longer have to compete with her feelings for Zach, because those are gone. Those have changed. Those have transmuted into something different. Now she can move forward and healthily co-parent, but romantically, there's nothing. She's also stopped trying to convince herself that she deserves less and knows that she deserves more, so now she don't have to compete with that limiting ass belief. So now the roads are free and clear for her to ride her ass into happiness with Aaron, and everybody want to be shocked, like, oh my God, she just magically decided that she was in love with Aaron. No, she's been in love with Aaron. She's been had love for Aaron. However, she had competing priorities and a limiting ass belief mindset that was holding her ass back. And now that she did the work, unlike y'all's faves, she is moving forward to her goddamn reward, and you hate her for it. Concepts of sorrows and prayers, because we love it.
Yeah. Somebody said, Keisha Bellamy said, we'll see, Allie. Then not everybody gets grace from you, not Zach. What should Zach be giving grace on?
Wait,
what I just said.
We got to go to Sabrina. We got to go to Sabrina. Then we can come back to that.
Let's go to Sabrina. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Peg the comment, Allie, so you can come back to fighting this good fight about Zach. Because at this point, you better than me. I'm done. Somebody called me childish today because I hate Zach and Fatima. If that's what you want to believe, you know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be that. I mean, I think Zach is good dialogue, because I know other people feel that way too.
Zach hates Zach. Let's talk about that. But anyway, let's go to Sabrina, because we got to give her a little bit of love so we can round out the show, and then we can come back to Zachary Taylor and what did Keisha say? Something about you don't give Zach no grace.
We'll see. Yeah, I got it.
Sabrina.
But Sabrina.
Sorrows, prayers. I feel like this little empowerment moment, it's a little too late. And not that I don't care, because Novi looks amazing. I was watching her at this damn conference room, and I was just like, oh, she's so stunning. Her teeth are so white.
She is. She's very
gorgeous.
Stunning.
But I don't give a damn what Sabrina talking about. And
I don't give two hot
damn. Understand why she gonna go tell every goddamn body her business. Talk to yourself, sis. Where is Jesus? Because he ain't on the main line, ma'am. You telling everybody and their mama about these damn eggs. Go inside. What the hell do you think? What the hell do you feel? And I get it. You want to feel better or whatever. You talking to Paige? Paige? Sabrina, please. So her little, you're racist. Your microaggressions weren't micro. Was ultimately not necessarily ruined, but like I can't really take Sabrina seriously, because then you go on to divulge this personal information, and maybe you and Paige can get there, but not in this damn moment, especially after you just got your ass dismissed by Pam for trying to tell her too. It's like, Sabrina, your biggest thing is you need to speak up for yourself, but also you need to find value in your damn voice and your perspective and what the hell you want to do. You do not need to call any and everybody to have them tell you what to do with your life. What do you want to do? Similar to Andy, do you want to go? No. Do you want the damn fertilized eggs or no? It's really quite literally that damn simple, ma'am. And you want to be getting smart with Paige coming into the conference room. She says, knock, knock. Paige is on a roll now. And you got to give the grace where it's damn due. You don't have no door, ho. You have no door.
Yeah.
Sabrina, please.
Yes. That's how I met with Sabrina. I feel the exact same way that you felt when homegirl was like, knock knock, that doesn't mean to come in. Well, there's not a door, white privilege. I said, whoa. Now don't get me wrong. I understand you
White
may have
privilege was
some
wild.
resistance.
Said to
It was
come in a place with
wild.
no door.
It was wild. I said, now wait a minute, Sabrina. Now I understand you may not like Paige, but let's not forget she's your subordinate. And the way I feel, when you are a leader, even if you don't like someone on your team, they should never know you don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to act accordingly, ma'am. Please. That was why for her to say. And then Paige heard her and she didn't say anything. She didn't let it, rock her or anything like that. But it's like you said, with Sabrina, I'm sick of it. I was with my good sis when she made her good speech to Maurice maybe 8 episodes ago, where she was gonna find her voice and this great empowerment because her and Andy had a moment the same episode about they were taking they life back, taking their voice back. All of us, child, we back at square one. But I don't care.
Cause
I
she's
want you to
not
talk
doing it to
to
the people that need it. Rich gets
that
to
needs
run
it.
his ass in
Absolutely.
and out the bank, throw all types of fits, roll his damn eyes like a toddler. He gets to do whatever the hell he wants, and all she got for him is a damn baby voice. And yes, yes, my man.
She looked like, because I was trying to figure out, but she wasn't really speaking. And I said maybe she's in her feelings because you have been ignoring this woman all day, and then you come to her job and ask her out to eat. Hmm. So she's probably in her feelings, which is why she probably was short with Rich. But at the same time, I don't need you to take me out to eat for my voice to be heard. And we're gonna have this conversation now. Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, let's go to my office where we can have a little bit more privacy. Because I don't need you to take me out to eat. Because I don't need to act a fool in nobody establishment. Let's have let's have this conversation now. So it's just the thing that the writers do. You give these women powerful moments where yes, they should be happy that they can stand up and they can speak for themselves and speak to their truths, and then you put them back in a situation to regress. Why? Keep them moving forward. Sabrina, like you said, you telling everybody you called Pam Hill, she wasn't even listening to you, but then told her that she helped you. So why you telling Paige? Paige just wasn't the person for her to reveal that to.
Even with her having a story of endometriosis, it honestly did a world of good continuing for the like redemption arc for the Paige character, but it wound up doing absolutely nothing for Sabrina, for the audience's
Correct.
eyes.
Correct. Yeah. It definitely made Paige seem like, okay, wow, there is some substance there. Okay, Sabrina, because we've been here with you many, many times.
And you can never find the gumption, the bravery, the gravitas to say what needs to be said to the people who need to have something said to them. Daniela was
Yes.
first. Rich is now second,
hmm
and I've had it.
Yes, we're done. hmm That's how I
Mm,
feel about that.
okay. I think that's pretty much it in reference to what I had. So I guess now we can go back to Allie's like a grace for Zach.
Yeah, my lack of grace for the character of Zach. And the thing about it is, I have definitely given Zach um, grace in a lot of areas. The one thing about it is, I have never liked Zach. I have never hid from that fact. I've never liked him since season one, episode one. However, Zach is one of those characters that a lot of black women unfortunately extend too much grace to, and you begin to stifle those types of men and always give a justifiable reason or an excuse why they are not growing, why they are not behaving in a mature way. And I know people like Zach. I know a lot of men with mindsets like Zach. I am a woman who, yes, everybody deserves grace. Everybody has had not everyone, but many people have grown up with a hard childhood. Zach is a character who has had that. And a lot of people give Zach grace because his mom was on drugs. His mom wasn't really there. Zach is not the only character on this show who has had a trying childhood. We get a lot of these women on the show who didn't grow up with the father, yet it's presented as if they're supposed to know exactly what to do when they get in certain relationships. That they're supposed to care for these men. They're supposed to do all of these things when they've never had a male figure in their life to show them how they should be properly loved. But yet, the audience expect black women to get in these relationships and know how to build up their men. Oh my God, I hated that build them up with Karen and Fatima. Karen didn't build him up. I'm sorry, what? What's causing him not to build himself up? So he gets with Fatima. She says what, 5 affirmations to him, and all of a sudden she's building him up. She doesn't tear him down. In the midst of us seeing Fatima and Zach together, Fatima has said some damning things to Zach. Zach has said some damning things to Fatima. I don't expect her to have it all together. I don't expect him to have it all together. But what I will not do is give Zachary Taylor a pass for the things that he does on this show, how he has been presented to us on this show. Zach gets a pat on the ass for doing the bare minimum.
Mm.
Bare minimum. And I'm just not one who, I'm not one to subscribe to that. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. And I'm not, and if you're still on here, I forgot her name.
Keisha.
Let
I
me go
think it
back
was
up.
Keisha.
Keisha. And Keisha, if you're still on here, like, I'm not sure exactly what you would like to see, because I feel like women, and I'm not saying this to you, but I feel like some women, when you see a character like Zach, he fine, he can stroke you real well, you would tend to lessen your standards just to have that. And I feel like that's what Fatima has done. On any given day, I would have never believed that Fatima would choose that, but now that I have seen Fatima's past exes, it's on brand for what she's willing to accept in her life. That's why I stand on the fact of Fatima is not who she thinks she is. Because the type of men that this woman has chosen to be with tells me all I need to know. But extending grace to Zach, no, never. Never. Zach lies so much. Zach, I was telling one lady who commented under one of my videos the other day, and she was saying that she doesn't believe that Zach gave Karen a STD, so that's a storyline that she doesn't ignore. No, man, we can't ignore that, because Zach has admitted it, even though DeVal is not a great source, but he has admitted it as well. Zach was having unprotected sex with all of these women. He's had pregnancy scares. So you sliding up with people raw. Yeah, you gave this girl something, because when she brought it to your attention, you didn't deny it. You gave me something that I had to get an antibiotic for. You didn't say nothing
How
because
the
you know what
hell
you
do
was out
you
there doing.
not believe it when we start the show with her at the hospital praying
Honey,
that she
I
doesn't
didn't
have
even.
to get another
It's your that.
antibiotic?
Thank you. I didn't even go into detail with that person. I just was like, no, that ain't something I'm finna ignore. It is what it is. So I don't understand why we don't want to accept the truth about who Zach was, about who Zach is, about who he still is, and why are women so easily accepting the bare minimum? We should not accept the bare minimum. It's
Child,
okay to be by yourself.
ain't that
It
the
is
truth?
okay to be by yourself. It is. Zach, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, he ain't growing. He ain't doing things that even going even to the whole thing with Karen. He was gaslighting the hell out of Karen in some of these seasons. So we're not gonna act like she was just having these feelings for her, by herself. And most of the time she was. But Zach was not innocent. And
What?
I haven't always agreed with what Karen has done. I have not. But let's just say, when it comes to the character of Zachary Taylor, when it's time to extend grace, knowing how he was raised, seeing the things he went through with his mom, for anybody, my heart will go out to anybody who had to experience that. But he is not the only person who has had a trying life. So why should he get preferential treatment? Because he's been to jail? No.
And I think it's also worth even zeroing in on what you're asking, right? Like, to make the statement, oh, Allie doesn't give any grace to Zach. Okay. What do you mean by grace? Because when I say people aren't giving grace to Karen, it's simple. It's not an excuse. It's
Mm-hmm.
consideration. when I say grace, specifically in that example that I provided a little bit earlier, specifically for Karen, it's me calling for y'all to actually consider all the factors versus picking and choosing the ones that best fit your narrative and then strengthening your narrative by ignoring all of those other things. What is wild to me in the thought of like Allie don't give Zach grace, or even if you're saying it to me too, because I don't know, I didn't see the comment, but that's what we're kind of focused on. Like you said to Allie, that Allie considers all of the information that we have on Zach. I consider all of the information that we have on Zach, and the information is damning. And I think that you're not calling for somebody to have grace. You're calling for them to have selective memory and give preferential treatment, because that's what you're doing. And that's something that you have to be real about. So we're already in a very weird place in the conversation when you come to somebody trying to criticize them and saying, oh, you're not giving this character grace. But what you really mean is that you're not giving this character preferential treatment. And you're not handling him with amnesia. And then all of the points that Allie just made, like, those are all very valid. I think it was Keisha. So I don't know how she feels post that. This is supposed to be, like she said, a conversation.
Yeah, and I think those things are good, like, because I know for me, I'm one of those people where everyone is not going to agree with what we say, which is fine. I love having debates and hearing different people's perspectives, but one of the things that I find myself in is when we're having discussions like this, you don't really get the response, the feedback. Like after you've made your point, and it's like, okay, as you stated, well, when you say I don't show grace, what specifically are you speaking of when it comes to that? Because I get it with Fatima as well, where instead of someone saying, I'm unsure the reason you feel this way about the character Fatima when it comes to this, they'll just say you don't like her, or I don't understand why you hate on her. And it's like, that's not what's happening. What I'm saying is, based on the information that we see here, this is what I can conclude, and this is what I am stating. But that's not always communicated, back and forth when you have dialogue with people in your comments, or on the live, or whatever the case may be. But I think I don't mind it, because like I said, I've never liked the character of Zach, but there are times when Zach is like, another thing too, I felt I was going to talk about it when I did my review. Like, I think DeVal by himself is funny. Like, I don't think he's the most humorous person, but I do find DeVal to be a very funny person, and I love his content with his family. But I also can tell that Martin Lawrence is a huge influence on DeVal, because he brings it to the character of Zach. However, like in tonight's episode, I felt like I was watching a watered down version of Martin Lawrence on Martin show. And it's like, I don't need that. The way that Martin conducted himself as a comedian on his show, he did it at such a high level. Anybody who is trying to do that, it doesn't come off well to me. And I know when I talk about it, they're probably gonna say, "Oh, well, he can't do nothing." No, he can do whatever he wants. But the response from this fan of Martin, I don't need it. And I think that's why when I first started watching Zatima, I felt like it was a great value version of Martin. Because in a lot of his stuff during those first 2 seasons, DeVal was acting like Martin. Yeah. And I'm like, no, Martin is Martin. You can't do that.
And also to the point of like, even like, because I get it. I get the trying to follow in the footsteps of Martin and using that, using that model. I get the desire there, but Martin actually loved Gina. Martin actually gave a damn about that relationship. Like, Martin cared about being a good boyfriend. Like, he wasn't the best, and he, learned along the way and had commitment issues when it came to the marriage and all of that. But at his core, he was really happy with his woman.
He was.
Y'all are already not even starting off at the same place. So how are you trying to play from the same playbook word for word, baby? You're not even in the same circumstances. And I'm not saying that Zach don't love Fatima, but Martin, we started Martin at a place with a healthy man in a healthy relationship. We did not start Martin with a baby mama and an ex and throwing her up against a damn, like, we didn't start Martin like that. Martin's problems was at his damn job and was kikiing with his damn friends. So the trying to be Martin without the Martin circumstances is wild to me. I would actually love it if Fatima went the direction of wanting to be more like Martin and actually getting Zach to grow the hell up. Because quiet as kept, that was Martin's journey for the whole entire show. He had to grow up. But they refused to let Zach grow up.
And we saw that. And that's the thing, because I even think about the episode of Martin where when Martin lost his job and he was really going through a lot of turmoil, and even though it was a comedic show, you saw the turmoil, so much so that Martin left everybody and went off to this damn cult to try to get his life together. But you saw the struggle. Now it was funny as hell. Yeah. But you saw the struggle. Yeah. We see Zach in a position where he's not even working, but he's not doing anything. Like, where is the struggle in seeing a man? And don't get me, and like, I know it's the writers. Okay, like when we talk about the characters, we know that they are, characters, and we know people are writing for them. But this is where it goes back to Erica and I talking about how the writers miss so much. Where is the struggle with Zach being a man and watching his pregnant fiance walk out the door every day to go to a job to provide because he doesn't have money coming in? Now, pause right there. Go back to when he and Karen had sex in the office. What did he say? He said, "It killed me to see you get up and go to work every day and knowing I couldn't help you." So you're telling me it killed you with Karen, but it don't bother you with your pregnant fiance? Writers, y'all got to do better. And then in the same breath want to say that Zach don't have feelings for Karen. Things prove otherwise to me. This man crying in that office. Oh, okay.
She said, "No, I'm calling for us to be open-minded and acknowledge, yes, this person has done messed up things, but he is not a total waste because he's getting therapy. Zach is trying to be better." What exactly is the trying look like? Is the trying in the room with us? She went on to say, he's not the Zach from seasons 1 and season 2. So when does he get credit for that? Credit for what? For winning the lottery and no longer wearing the airport uniform? Because you're saying that he's not the Zach that he was, but what Zach is he? And I think that you all have gotten to a place in the fandom for this particular character where you are brainwashing yourselves to a certain extent to think that Zach is much further along than he actually is. The only difference that Zach is displaying from where he was in seasons 1 and seasons 2 is that he has more financial resources. He no longer works at the airport. And he has yet to stick his penis in another woman while in a relationship. He hasn't restricted himself from thinking of sticking his penis in another woman while in another relationship. He just hasn't done the physical consummation of it. Other than that, we are quite literally still dealing with the same jealous, childish, controlling, disrespectful Zach that we had experienced. So I guess that's where the biggest dissonance is because you all truly believe, because we watch him go to one therapy session, which he drags Fatima and his family to, because he just has to win her back without doing the work solo and then coming back to get her. And then we see him basically disregard the same therapist who comes to him before he makes the gravest mistake ever, most recently, and whooping his damn brother's ass, and still not listen to him then. But y'all keep wanting to say that Zach is in therapy and he's changing and he's trying. But when he's presented with the fruits of the resources provided for him to be different, he continues to choose to be the same. Why would I believe he's actually trying? Why would I believe that the therapy is doing anything? How is he actually different? What different choices is he making other than not sticking his penis in another woman? Zach has fought very, very hard to retain the right to do what he wants to do based off of the mindset that he has, regardless of the mindset that he needs to function in the life that he's trying to build. He quite literally is kicking and screaming and fighting Fatima at every turn when it comes to change. He looked the girl in her face and told her none of her damn interests actually matters. All that matters is his thug penis.
Yes.
And him giving it to her right. And you want me to believe that this is a new Zach? The same man that cheated on Karen and thought that sleeping with her was going to be the way that he got back in her house when she was trying to throw him out. But this is a different Zach. Where? So when we're being open-minded and we're considering all the facts, this is what I mean by y'all dropping some of them along the way and then acting like they never even existed. Babe, you forgot something.
Yeah. And we have to consider that. We have to consider all those things. I know she made a comment and she said y'all don't know their financial situation though. We do know their financial situation because two episodes ago Fatima told us that Zach doesn't have any money coming in, so she got to go to work.
And even on Fatima, he's concerned about paying for the rehab because his money is running low. He still hasn't gotten money back from Gary. We have watched all this money continue to go out, and he's not bringing anything new in. So we do know. You might not want to know.
Yeah, we know.
And he's being a stay-at-home dad with a kid we never see.
Yes.
Come on now.
And that's the problem.
Come on now.
And that's the problem.
And y'all want us to accept that we're the problem and we're overly critical and we're offering him no grace. But y'all are not actually taking what you see on TV. You are taking what you want it to be. You are picking and choosing like this is a damn buffet. And then you're mad that the masses or other people, Allie and myself, don't actually understand the narrative that you're concocting, but you're picking and choosing what you're using to concoct the narrative. And we're literally using everything. And this comes from a person who I had the most amount of grace for Zach starting the series.
Yes, you did.
I had so much grace for Zach. I understand what it is to date a Zachary Taylor better than most people will ever even understand. But another thing, and this is something that I don't feel like I will ever get through to like Zach fans, which I wish I could. I'm not going to stop, but I don't think it will ever work. Calling him up and calling him in is not doing a disservice to him. Pointing out how he is still messing up, pointing out how he still has room to grow, pointing out how he is still the same even though he wants to believe himself to be different is not doing him a disservice. Enabling him to stay the same and then playing like he's somebody else is.
Keisha, do you watch Fatima? I'm curious because you asked what happened to his money. So I'm curious if you only watch Sistas and not Fatima. Because on Fatima it was pretty laid out like what happened to Zach's money. So I'm just curious about that.
We are.
Real
and honestly,
him,
I think that would do the best. That would be the best thing for him, Mel. Zach going back to the airport yelling "Cart coming" would be the best thing that ever happened to him. That would be his do.
Because at least you got something coming in. And my thing is, you're doing something. Because you're not going to tell me as a man watching your fiance go to work and you not bringing any money in, you're okay with that. Go get your job back. At least until you're able to, get some income coming, your regular income coming in. You bringing home something. You ain't doing nothing. And no, I watched both, but I thought that Preston came in and settled the whole thing.
Well, he can't live off of $1 million the rest of his life.
I was gonna say it was almost like they broke even with that money. He didn't get
also,
nothing.
Also, it was the rest of the money that he had left in his business, and also it was split half with him and Bryce, so he didn't get all the money that Preston put in there. And you got to remember that this is the money that he is trying to live off of. This is the money that he's paying $5,000 for the rehab and however much for the funeral and like all of the things are coming out of this. The point is, He's not going to make more money. He's not finding a way to make more money moving forward. So they might have money right now, and Fatima got him on her damn paralegal ass salary and her familial criminal past. But the point is, because y'all like to jump over the point, because at this point it's like you want to, I guess, be right more than you actually want to be in conversation. He is literally allowing this woman to lead financially right now, and he don't have to. He's not down and out. He's not struggling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, what is so different from season 1 or 2 Zachary? Like, y'all want us to believe that he's a completely different Zach, and I just want you to tell me how.
That's all we want. Well, I know that's all I want because I know even being on social media, and I get a lot of people to hit me up on Instagram. And when people make, I ignore a lot of people because they don't give anything to support what they're
Yeah.
saying. So when I see people to say, well, Zach is changing and Zach is this, but you're not telling me anything that's showing him changing. I think people, and don't get me wrong, like you can listen to whatever review you want to listen to, is your world. But a lot of times people just be regurgitating stuff that they've heard somebody else say,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have merit for what they're saying either. Like, where's the supporting documents, as they say, to support what you're saying? Because I believe when Erica and I speak and the things that we say, we can literally back up what we're saying. We know this show very well.
Yeah.
Very well. And the same with a lot of y'all. Y'all know this show very well. And you can say, well, this is why I feel like this. So when I see people that say, well, Karen gets everything she wants, please show me. Please tell me how.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I see, oh, she's just using Aaron, she doesn't have feelings for Aaron. She's always had feelings for Aaron since season 1. Since season 1, and they got stronger in season 2, and then we saw the tug of war, the battle with this woman. But they've always been there.
Yep.
Now, was she fighting them? Was she disappointed and hurt when this Jennifer person came up on the scene? Absolutely. But then I go back to the conversation she had with Sabrina. When Sabrina brought up Aaron and she just cheesing and smiling. Like, yeah, baby, it's okay. It's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to move past that era of not feeling deserving, of not feeling that you're worthy to have the love that you really want, to feel like you actually deserve it. And you have a man who wants to give it to you.
Yeah.
Even tonight, before they, got down with the get down, and she was like, you really are a good man, aren't you, Aaron? And that brother said, with you, I'm an even better man. I said, baby, take it.
You was already gonna get it, but like,
You was gonna get
golly,
it. You was gonna get it, boo.
you was
You was
already
gonna
gonna
get
get
it.
it, child.
Yes.
That
Yes.
man, that man, that man, that man. And it's like, to, like, I guess round it out, because I don't know if Keisha
Hmm.
is done, but then you have a Zachary Taylor existing in the same world with an Aaron Carter, which also doesn't help y'all's case. We know what growth
Yeah.
looks like. We know what patience looks like. We know what love looks like. We know what consideration looks like. We know what sexual discipline looks like. We know what respect looks like. We are quite literally in the same universe, given a point of reference in Aaron Carter. It doesn't actually help y'all's case if this old Zach is actually changing. He has gotten better. How? How? We know what better
Yeah.
looks like. And it don't look
Yeah.
nothing like that.
You know, it don't look nothing like that. It don't look nothing like that. Whew,
Wait, I think she said something.
baby.
Keisha said no, Preston came to
Oh,
be a third partner with him and Bryce in the business, which is what I was saying, which is why I don't understand why Zach is not working with them. Zach wasn't working when he started the business.
I guess he wasn't working. Zach, when did you, baby? Zach don't work. That's the thing we got to do. And that's what Erica was talking about. We look at all the facts. No, what you saw was um Zach going to a office. Zach didn't work. I think we saw Zach in the
Bryce was
field
doing
twice.
all of that.
It was Bryce. It was Bryce doing the work. One time we saw Zach at a house that Bryce asked him to come to one night. And then the other time is when they went to the construction site and Bryce was trying to get him to buy into the property. That's the only two times I've ever seen Zach in the field when it comes to his job. Other than that,
He's
Zach is
been
in that
playing
office with
solitaire this
Tony.
whole time.
Baby.
And y'all are
So
really
those are
like,
things we
yep,
got
he
to
at
deal with.
work.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Bless y'all's hearts. Whew, bless your heart, honey.
Yeah, we got to be
That gave me a
real about
chuckle.
some things.
That gave me a chuckle. That don't work in this universe. And I'ma just watch the team. Okay. Do whatever's gonna make you the most happy, babe. But I'm
Absolutely.
glad that we were able to, I guess, have this back and forth in
Have the
real time.
dialogue. Yeah.
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 Because it gets a little bit confusing and a little bit convoluted in the comment section at times. Anything else, Allie, from this episode? Shout out to all of y'all. I think we peaked at like 150 people tonight. I know that's
Oh, that's
right.
what's up. That's what's up.
We
Welcome. I'm
got over
glad y'all was
100 in
here.
here right now. I hope everybody hit the like button because I haven't even checked. Can we hit the like
Hit
button
that
again,
like
sis,
button.
please?
Hit that like button.
Pretty, please. Any last thoughts about the episode, Allie, before we get on out of here?
All I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it on a high note, to everybody who has been on this side of the coin, this side of the fandom, we have waited so long, and I mean this like with true sincerity. I'm not trying to be funny. We have waited so long to see Karen get to this place. And that's why people come over and make certain comments under my videos. I just ignore it and let them know that we having fun over here and we enjoying it over here because we have waited, we have prayed, we have let out our frustrations, and to see our good sis get to this place and to see Aaron still be in a place of being receptive and standing on his word and watching them have this moment tonight that was so endearing and just so precious for me. I'm happy. This episode wasn't about much, but that scene alone, I'm gonna just the way they looked at each other, everything. It's been a long time coming, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna bask in it, and I'm gonna talk about it till I can't talk about it no more. It's gonna be Karen and Aaron overkill over here because we waited so long for it. You muted, Erica.
I said, what the Stringer Bell say? Allie don't know because her ass ain't watch it, but she gon' watch it. Stringer Bell said, tell the streets we back up. We back up, baby. You damn right we having a good time, Allie. You damn right we
Yes, we
gonna
are.
enjoy it. We are back up.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Now, what show was that I didn't watch?
Huh?
What show was that?
The Wire, Allie.
Oh, The Wire. Oh,
Jesus.
something like that. Don't do
Y'all,
like that.
thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for all your comments in the chat, the live chat, as we get ready to get out of here. Shout out to A. Noel, Freckle Purple, Sierra, Miriam, who's still up in here, Trina, Keisha Boo. We have difference of opinions, but we're so glad that you are here tonight.
Yes.
Pink Beauty, Mel Cunningham. Thank you. Vaughn C., our lovely moderator, the chosen one. Simply Johnny. Thank y'all. Angie, Shao. We appreciate y'all, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to get on out of here. Be on the lookout for new videos from both of us. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to Allie's channel at Allie Nick Official on everything here on YouTube, but also on social. Tonight's show was a really great one. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Y'all make our Wednesdays, okay? You truly make our Wednesdays. We love this conversation. And we're going to see you here again next week.